Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marcia Weeks, and you are watching the Marcia Weeks Show. We're coming to you live from Barbados. If you can hear me, let me get that thumbs up, okay? Let me know if you're hearing me correctly, if you can see me well. It's independence. Lord of mercy, you see my new set. You see what's going on here, guys? Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I see people are logging on. Cecilia Miller is on. Cecilia, give me a thumbs up if you can actually hear me and all is well and clear. Let me get a thumbs up, folks. Okay. A thumbs up. Listen, tonight show, it's all about you. Tonight is about the people of Barbados. You are my guest tonight. I want you from in the early, anything that is on your mind. I want you to call me in the early. Tonight is about people power. Tonight is really all about you tonight, okay? So let me know. Good evening. Yes, people saying they're hearing me. That is wonderful. Judy Jilks, how are you? Judy says good evening to the loyal opposition. Marcia, Dave, Ferdinand, Shaquani, Caswell, Kimor, like and share. Listen, folks, I need you to like and share. We're doing the show together tonight. If you look at the name of the show tonight, it's about people power. It's all about you tonight. It's all about you. Because let me tell you something, I could have as many guests as possible. Really and truly, what they are afraid of is the people of Barbados. It's when the people of Barbados, when you decide to rise up and decide to lose your fear. When you lose your fear is when they lose their power. It's not when one or two of us lose our fear. It's when the populace, it's when the people lose their fear. So I want you bright and early, 236-7000. You write this number down. And anything that's on your mind tonight, I want you to call in. Okay? I want you to call in the early. Put the number down, write it down, save it in your phone. This is the Marcia Week Show number. And I want you to call in. Anytime in the show, you call in. And we are going to have this show together tonight. It is your night. You see the colors that I have all around me? It's about the people. And I missed you all. Queen B, I really missed you on Sunday. I missed you on Sunday. And so this is my first time for the week. And you're going to make this a big night tonight. Everybody like and share. If all of us that's on tonight will tell ourselves that we are going to like the show and we're going to share. Okay? We're going to like, we're going to share, and you look for the little sign there for subscribe, and you just click and you click subscribe. So everybody, right now, like and share. We're doing this together. We are in this thing together, okay? Teroni, good night, Teroni. Good to see you. Good night, good night, good night. Oh, my Lord. Michael Gills, good night. Mildred Ben, how are you? Good night, Mildred. Marcia, how are you? Is this the Marcia from St. Philip? I know you called me and you said, listen, my internet was off and I couldn't get to connect with you all, but I'm glad I'm logged on. Nigel Carrington, good night, Nigel. Nigel, where are you watching from? Is that St. Philip? I wonder from St. Philip. He knows why I'm asking him that. Hugh Shepherd, good night, good night, good night. Hugh, listen, we need to do some work, Hugh. It's about us, eh? It's about people of Barbados. It's called people power, y'all. Yes. Oh my Lord, Marcia again. Heathcliff, yes, they're telling me that they're hearing me loud and clear. Woo! Teroni! Again, Margaret Pollard, how are you doing, girl? How are you? How are you? Yes, Judith Ann. Judith Ann, how you feeling, Judith Ann? We're sending up prayers to you. Listen, guys, we are a family here. We are a family. Oh lordy, oh lordy. How you like my colors? How you like me? You all seen the blackberry sheep? The blackberry sheep? Who's seen the blackberry sheep? Camillus. Send me a message, Camillus. I want Camillus. Is this the same Camillus? Camillus has been Camillus. Send me a message right away, Camillus. I want you to come in here. I want you to come in here tonight. Yes. Yes. Camilla, send me a message now, Camilla, so I know who I'm talking to. Because if it is the same person that I'm speaking to, Camilla Lewis, he has been putting out some fantastic videos, and I've asked him to start to send them to us so we can put it on our channel as well, because he's part of that voice that is of the voices of the people that are fighting back. Yes, they're fighting. We're fighting back. We're fighting back. You know, to Sean Yard, we're fighting back. Sir Alfred Benjamin from Brooklyn, NYC. Brooklyn, we're fighting back. Patrick Designs. Ah, wonderful. Beverly, we are fighting back. And where we're going to do this tonight, folks, we are going to make sure that we like everybody. You've got to like the show. Like and share. Like and share. Okay. Yes, we the people, correct, Nigel, have absolute power. Government is not a self-regulating entity with absolute power and authority to control and dominate citizens. Do you see what's happening in the cybercrime bill? Don't mind them. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the propaganda that is being pushed. They are drowning. They are droning. I tell you, they are droning. And therefore, because when a man is droning, what they do, they reach for straws. They're catching at straws is what they're doing. Yes, I mean, that's the energy of God. That's the energy of God. Yes, Camilos, send me a message, Camilos, if that's you. And let me try and find you on here. I want you to call in tonight, Camilos. So I just sent you a message to call in. Camilos has been doing a fantastic job. And as far as I remember, I think Camilos is with UPP. Camilos, are you with UPP? So I'm sending you the number for you to call me at, Camilos, later in the program, all right? Mm. Yes. But, we're going to play the national anthem. Yes, Judith is saying that it's been challenges you keeping the faith. Yes, not to let it break you. You're here, you're breathing, you have life, and all is well. Yes. Beverly is saying that she is liking and sharing. She has already liked and shared. Can you say that? Have you liked yet? Have you shared yet? Huh? Yes, okay, so it's the same Camelus that I'm aware of. Folks, we've got to do this together. Yes, we are doing this together and we are going to get ready. And the number is right there. I want you to take the number down, okay? Because I want you to call in. We're going to talk about anything that's on your mind tonight. We're going to talk about it. Hey, CG, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you, CG. Folks, you seen my black belly sheep? You all trying to figure out where the black belly sheep is, right? They're right there. Listen, I helping out the government, the black belly sheep that they in Guyana, that the Guyanese saying they don't know what happened to the black belly sheep, huh? And that's a fact. So in that where can't send me no defamation letter, defamation the inter. I'm only asking you a question. I know where the black belly sheep. Do I know where mine are? They're right here. Where's the black belly sheep that India were sent to Guyana? Mine right there. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 black belly sheep here. India where your black belly sheep? The ones you sent to Guyana. Are they still alive? Or they eat them and cook them already. What happening to them? Where's the industry that is supposed to happen out of it? I can tell you there are 9 of them here. Yeah. Tony said the black belly sheep by me. Listen, no, they put them on a flight or however they ship them to Guyana. And we want to know. This is what the black belly sheep in Barbados, they are protesting right now. They are on a protest and they are saying that we want the rest of our cousins and our brothers and our sisters to come back to Barbados. So they're on the show. So tonight we are featuring the black belly sheep of Barbados, and they're asking for their cousins and their uncles and their aunties and the rest of the family in there. Where the black belly sheep? What you did with them? Where are they? Okay, we're gonna get back to them. But in the meantime, let's go right into our national anthem. This is what the people of Barbados, what we line up under. We line up under the national anthem. All right. So let's go right into the national anthem. Let's stand. Yes, yes, firm craftsmen of our faith. Yes, that is who we are. That is who we are, firm craftsmen of our faith. And that is why you see we join each night. We're here talking about the power of the people. We understand what our purpose is. We understand what our destiny is. We understand that Barbados is where it is today because of the people of Barbados. Because, as the song said, the Lord has been the people's guide for past 300 years. And tonight, we are going to be talking about the people power, the people power that would be able to bring about a righteous revolution in Barbados. And I'm here to say to you tonight, folks, I am here to say to you tonight, I love holding this flag in my hand. I'm here to say to you tonight that there is a revolution that is happening in Barbados. You believe me? There is a revolution that is taking place in this country. It is happening right now. And the image that I have, guys, the imagery that I have, it's, you are ready to capsize. Something is about to capsize, okay? You're about to turn it over. So say for example, you have a group of men and they're going to, there's a car that is over in a ditch, and you go now to lift up the car, all of you go underneath it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men go underneath it, and they start to lift, and they say, okay, everybody lift, right? And when you're lifting, you have to lift together. You count on one person. There was a 1, 2, 3 lift. And I'm telling you where we are right now, as we are lifting, as all of us, we are lifting, we're kind of mid-air. We haven't turned it over yet. But I tell you, that everybody inside of that car, they're feeling the lift. We are going underneath this government, and all 29 of them inside of their feeling it. All 29 feeling it. Do you see the post they sent out by the AI? The propaganda that they are pushing? The lies. So you remember, I came on this program. I tell you, they listen. And I tell you, they are in such fear right now. They are in such fear right now. The government of Barbados, listen to me, people of Barbados, they are worried. Because remember, all they care about is not you. They care about how they look on the world stage. And I tell you something, there is a little video. There is a little video because we had 4 of our citizens. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 went to Washington. Yes, there were more, but 4 spoke. So let's 4 presented. Let's focus on the 4 that presented. And let me tell you, they're shaking in their boots. How I know they're shaking in their boots? Because the lies that they are putting out. You all see the lies? Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. The lies that they are putting out. They are putting out. Let me tell you, and the reason they're putting out the lies, they are drowning. They are drowning and they're catching straws. They're doing like this, the water, and they're underneath the water, and they're trying, and they're grabbing this one, and they're grabbing this, and they're grabbing, because it's about over. Because the people in Barbados, they're up. They are alive and they're up. So this is them, hand up, and they're trying to hold on to a little something. You know what it is when you're drowning and you're trying to hold on a cane blade? A cane blade can save you. That one that they are setting up is a blade of grass that these 29 holding up. Edmund Hinkson. Edmund Hinkson. Silly. I'm going to call all the names in the book tonight, because guess what? You can't pass it. You can't pass it, because the whole world watching you. Come on. Would you believe that I was in my bed last night and I saw that someone in Germany speaking in German talking about the Barbados cybercrime bill? I burst out laughing. I said, no wonder they are so worried. Anybody saw that? I am so sorry that we're not. I'm on my own tonight. Don't have my hubby tonight to show you that video. Listen to me, folks. Germany, from the work of those 4 Barbadians, a pastor, and three young people, bright young people, huh? Lick the white off that of the skin, of that lawyer's skin. He then knocked the white. You should see how he was squirming. Huh? And guess what? We did not pay a cent for our lawyer. We did not pay $1. Oh my goodness. Is my audio breaking? Somebody said my audio is breaking. Is my audio breaking? Let me know if my audio is breaking. My audio is in and out. They said my audio is in and out. I'm here trying to see how I can fix it. Mhm. Is it still in and out? My audio is still in and out. Let me just adjust something here. How is my audio? Let me know how my audio is tonight, guys. Ah, it's going in and out. You're not hearing you. Not hearing you. How is it now? How is my audio? How is my audio now? Okay, some people say it's loud and clear at their end. Let me know. Give me feedback. I want to know feedback that you're saying it's better now. It's perfect now. So let me just make sure everything is connected right. Lord, we bless it. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, right. Oh, okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. So, but folks, let me tell you something that, oh my gosh, I tell you, something is happening. Something is happening. And there are some people who are scared that it is happening, right? There is something happening, and there are some people who are scared that it is happening, and it is that change. There is a change that is taking place, right? There is a change that is taking place, and because we are deciding that we're going to talk, we're going to talk. Let me play something for you here. Eric Lewis, Eric Lewis singing "Tight Lip" because that's what they want us to be tight lip. Who out there going to be tight lip? Anybody out there going to be tight lip? No, 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 no tight lip. No tight lip. We are going to talk. We're going to open our mouth and we're going to talk. We're going to post. No censorship here. You see, Trinidad and Tobago sent out a letter and wrote the Prime Minister. Did you all see that? Oh, Lord. And I am back because they can't stop this show. They can't stop it. Let me tell you, I told you all something. This is what I told you all. I told you before we had that little stoppage there. I was trying to explain to you something. People, the people of Barbados, they are scared. You hear what I tell you? They are scared. They will do anything to try to stop this show. But I am telling them, we've got to fight inside of our bellies, folks. They are scared. I was talking to you about Edmund Hinkson, who sought to intimidate Timon at the end of his presentation in Washington about the censorship, the mass censorship that this government is about to release on the people of Barbados. We are sending out a message to Edmund Hinkson that if you think that the Barbadian people are sleeping, go ahead and pass the bill. And by the way, stop emailing me. You stop emailing me because I will not respond to you. Anything that I have to say to you have been said to the people, to you already by the citizens of Barbados at the IACHR. Don't email me. Don't get me started on you all. You 29, don't get me started on you all, because there is a fight down in the belly of the Barbadian people. No rain can stop this jam. And if I will fall off of here 20 times tonight, you all stay on. And we're going to fight back. I know a lot of you don't like the Trump thing, but you know what came in my mind? Fight, fight, fight. I want everybody that's on right now, you pause right now and you like this show. Let them understand what we are made of. Come on, people. Barbados. I gave you the analogy of us underneath a car. Okay? The car is falling over, over in the ditch. I remember my son was driving home and he fell and, got into an accident. And the car was over in the ditch and they had to bring the wreck up and they had to lift the car up. And you're there watching them lifting the car. The car is coming up. Can you all hear me? Let me know if you're hearing me. Can you hear me? Are you hearing me clearly? Bonnie Springer, are you hearing me? Let me know. Let me know. All right. All right. Yes. Now, listen to me, folks. Listen to me tonight. Listen to me. If you don't hear me any other night, I want you to listen to me tonight. Because I wasn't even supposed to be on the show here tonight. You hear what I tell you? I want you to listen to me loud and clear. Just like that wrecker decided to take up the car from out of the ditch. These 29 have driven our country over into a ditch. And tonight, we don't need a wrecker. We don't need a wrecker to pull the car out. You hear what I tell you? We don't need any wrecker to pull the car out, all of us. 280,000 of us strong. We're going underneath that car. And we're going to take it out the ditch. And you see the 29 of them were inside of it. They feel it and they know it is happening. And they're nervous. They're desperate. They're drowning. They are drowning. That's why they're attacking. And I want Barbadians, listen to me. Listen to me, folks. How many of you saw that stupid thing that they are sending around? And talking about we're getting money. And all from this, and talking about Trump organizations. My God, sit down. I can call Edmund Hinkson's name because the first person we heard it from was out of his mouth, and he was lying. And Barbados need to ask yourself the question, if he could lie about that, what else is Edmund Hinkson lying about? What else is he lying about? And did you see how they call the DLP name in it? And I'm going to say it. And a lot of you, you don't understand what it is that I'm doing. You come in here and you say, but Marcy, you talk too much about the DLP. You know why I do it? I wanted to stop and think. If you all didn't know the Marcia Week show and you listen to that, you would believe them, wouldn't you? And you would be passing it around and believe. They have done the same thing on the DLP. Do you hear what I'm telling you? That propaganda machine has been unleashed on the DLP. And Mia Mottley, the Prime Minister Mia Mottley, is doing everything to destroy that party. And that is why I use this platform to speak about them and to encourage them, because I am trying to, in my own way. You might think it's wrong. You might think the way I do it is wrong. But my heart is trying to preserve democracy, because I see the propaganda. I see the propaganda. They have destroyed. They have done everything. When she is finished, she wants the DLP into the ground, and just for the very, because of what she wants, because it is what she wants, I'm going to do the opposites. Where is the Linux party? Where is APP? Where is UPP? All of them, she destroyed them. Where is Solutions Barbados? Where are the candidates? I submit to all of you that I am committed. The Marcia Week show is committed to a strong democracy in Barbados. Come out, UPP, we're going to support you. Come on out, Solutions Barbados, we'll support you. Come out, DLP, we'll support you. Because as long as we are here, we will preserve a strong democracy in Barbados. The Prime Minister will not get her way in setting up a one-party state. Do you see the colors that she's wearing? Rain or shine, she's in red and black. Rain and shine, they're in red and black. And who are the ones spreading the propaganda that I am pushing the DLP? It's them, because they want me to stop talking about the DLP. They want me to stop having Mr. Grenville Phillips. And by the way, for those of you who don't know, Grenville Phillips, his difficult conversation piece was sent to Washington as part of our submission from Solutions Barbados. Huh? UPP, we're ready. Come on, get the candidates ready, UPP. Solutions Barbados, get the candidates ready. And all of the other parties. I don't have all the names, remember all the names of the parties. Get your candidates ready. This car that they drove over and wrecked, they have wrecked this nation. All of us, we are going under that car and we're lifting it up. So what they feel, they can feel it, you know. They feel something turning. Huh? They feel something turning. And because they feel this thing happening, they start to fight back. Did you see where your Prime Minister, your absentee Prime Minister that has run up miles, your absentee Prime Minister that travels all around the world? Can you hear me? Let me speak in the microphone. Let me speak in the microphone. Who afraid? Yes, Prime Minister Mia Mottley, you are afraid of Mr. Thorne. And that is again another reason why I support Mr. Thorne. Because Mr. Thorne is not like them little mampy-pampy in there. Mr. Thorne is a man with strong testosterone. Huh? And she, right? And she's scared of that. She got to bow to testosterone. That's a real man. It's not no half-baked man. So when he speaks, you're scared and you run away. But guess what? Did you all see something? Did you all notice something tonight? I soon start to read your comments in the chat. Because we're doing the show together tonight. Because I'm here to deliver a message to Barbados tonight. I am here to deliver a special message to the 280,000 of you to let you know that you're taking effect and you're feeling it. Wow, I know that. The lies that are going out, and look at what happened in Parliament this week. Who was in Parliament? Write it in there. Let me see if you need to you can come to the front of the class. Write the name in there. Who was in Parliament? Who found themselves in Parliament and decide to get up and start to speak out and everything? No, don't tell me. There's no need to easy now. There's no need to easy now. I'm not tonight. Not tonight. Not tonight. There's no easy now. I am speaking. I'm here to give a message. I'm not into no easy now. I want to deliver this message. Who was in Parliament today? Yesterday? Yeah? They're not easy on us. They're not easy on us. The Prime Minister, and I said Prime Minister, the Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, was seated in Parliament and was ready to speak. You know why? My girl feeling the heat. That Washington thing has gone viral. People sending it to me from overseas. People tell me that people in Italy all about sending that thing. It has gone viral. And we love when she hot and sweaty. We love when she upset with Ralph because that's when she talk foolishness and things jump out. So let her keep going to Parliament. But she is nervous. She is worried. The UN pick don't look too good look that good anymore. Because the Inter-American Commission on Human Rights realize what's going on with the citizens. Who is this? Althea. Althea, come to the front of the class, Althea. Enough people don't understand who Jehu is. I wouldn't go into that. But those of you write it down and go look in the Bible who Jehu is and what God used Jehu to do. I'm going to leave that up there. Write it off the screen tonight. I'm not playing tonight. They are not going easy on us. We went to them and we told them we had problems with the cybercrime bill. They come back and they add 3 more. They add 3 years to the 7 years to 10 years. That's a recommendation under Edmund Hinkson. Thankfully, Ralph Thorne did not sign that. Neither did the Senator Ryan Walters signed that commission report. Instead of listening to the people, they went and they said 10 years instead, right? And $100,000 instead of $70,000. So why should I go easy on them? No, you're not going easy on us. Folks, the tide is turning. The tide is turning in this country. The UN pick is not looking too good because They will have to answer a lot of questions. Right? All of a sudden now, right, she's speaking about human rights. Huh? Human rights. Because you're getting the message. And I came on here, I want to affirm Barbadians on where we are tonight. They are feeling the effect of the people power. Yeah, they are feeling the effects of the people power. And I want you to help me with this show tonight. Everybody, pause for me, like the show, share, and subscribe. Let me give you some time to do that. Talking now, she wants to meet with Trump. Going now with her hand out. The same Trump that they all hate. And say he don't like black people. And Trump don't care about us. I know, I believe it. He don't care about the Caribbean. He care about his own country. And he don't care about no climate change. But see her here? She want to go meet. She want to go meet. Haha. Everybody like and share. Everybody like and share. We are part of this thing tonight. Listen, let me tell you all something. People, power, the people. When we lose our fear, they lose their power. And that's what's happening in Barbados. So they feel the change. There is a change in the atmosphere. There is. And because they feel this change in the atmosphere, this is exactly why they're catching at straws and sending around propaganda. Yeah? That is what is happening. Let me read some of your comments now. Okay? Let me read some of the comments before we go on. Before I was bumped off, I was going to play a song, and I'm going to play this song, but I want to tell him for me there to keep out of my inbox. Right? Yes. Yes, there is the Bajan Free Party as well. Right. The aim is to get another 30 love. You heard what she said in Parliament, that she can't, she wouldn't, if she call another, I was told, I did not hear, but I was told that she said that it is in their best interest that she doesn't call election now, because they will be decimated basically, because she's thinking she's going to get another 30 love. But I'm saying to people, if it even means that some of you become independent candidates, if it means, but there we will not lose our dignity. For us to have another 30 love in this country, it would mean that something wrong with us. That's not the Barbadian. That's not the Barbados that we know. Right, M. Gardner? How many of you agree with me? If we are to get another 30 love, if that is what happens in Barbados, no man, something wrong. Yes, I believe that. I believe that we might need some independent candidates as well. If you are listening and you believe you can do something for Barbados, go and join one of those parties. One of them, there is the UPP, there is Solutions, there is DLP, and you can become even an independent candidate. Do something Whatever we do, there should not be another 30 love in this country. How many of you agree with me with that? How many of you agree with me that there should not be another 30 love in this country? No? 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 Who agrees? Listen to Timon's, what Timon said at the press conference. Timon says, I have hope for this situation. I have hope for the voice of the Barbadian people to rise up. Do you have hope tonight? Timon says, I have hope for this situation. I have hope for the voice of the Barbadian people to rise up. Timon, 20 years old. Do you have hope for Barbados? We're in the season of independence. Do you have hope? Is hope on the inside of you for this country? He says, Timon says, it was once thought that Barbados was a perfect colony and that we would forever be on the bidding of England, never rebel. Then there was Bossa. Then there was Bossa. When we're going to say, then there was Angela Eunice Knight. Then there was Tamika Harper. Then there was Judy Moody. Then there was ADG. They thought that Barbados was a perfect colony. They didn't know what was going to reach them. They didn't know that we had it within us to go to the IACHR. It had not been done in 20 years, so they sat back. And they did not expect it. But then there was Kim. Then there was Bossa. They thought we want to rebel, but there was Bossa. They thought they could infringe upon our rights as workers. And in the midst of the labor rights movement, there was who? Who was it? Write the name, write the name, write the name, write the name. Write the name. Don't be afraid of them. They thought they could infringe upon our rights as workers. And in the midst of the labor rights movement, there was who? Write it. Clement P. Come to the front of the class, Angela Eunice Knight. There was Clement P. Right now, we're going through issues with our workers. Those that are working in the hotel industry, working for pittance. Workers, hospital, what about those, the nurses? What about our teachers? They thought, they still think they can infringe upon our rights as workers. And in the midst of the labor rights movement, there was Angela Eunice Knight, there was Tyrone Nurse, there was Monica Ince, there was Chantel Angel, there's Hugh Howard. In the midst of it, do you hear what I'm saying? So you reflect on Clement P and everybody Clement P. You are the Clement P right now. You are the Bossa right now. You are going to rise up. There is a Bossa uprising. And they know it. They feel it. They feel the shaking because they're in the car. They feel it. And they see that we're lifting up, the people lifting up this country. And they feel it. Any Bossa? Give me a thumbs up if you're a Bossa. If you're a Clement P out there, give me a thumbs up. Let me see the Clement P put up the thumb. Give me thumbs up. If you're Clement P, come on, give me thumbs up. They thought even still that we would remain attached to them, right? And still hold on to the Union Jack. But there was who? Write the name in the comment section. Who was it now? When they thought that we could not break away from the Union Jack, who was it? Who was it? Who was it? Then there was who? Then there was who? I'm waiting on the name. Who's going to come to the front of the class? They thought, even still, that we would remain attached to them and still hold on to the Union Jack. But then there was, woo, you shepherd, you be shepherd, front of the class for you. You get a nice ticking with my reading pen. And you get stars. Felicia, Shante, yes, Errol Barrow, Felicia Archer, Errol Barrow, yes, EWB, yes, EWB in the skin, EWB, yes, 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 Errol Barrow, yes, yes, Paul Messiah, Errol Barrow, woo, Barrow, Bonnie Springer said Barrow, when they thought that we would stay attached to the Union Jack, there was Errol Barrow. Huh? How many barrows we have up there? Give me the thumbs up again. Give me the thumbs up. We in this thing together. I am telling you tonight, I came ready with a message for you tonight to let you know that the water is troubled, to let you know that they are aware that there is a change blowing. There is a wind blowing. If there was no issue, that she would not be in Parliament. She would not be in Parliament. She felt that she had to be in there. She felt that at their St. James Speaks, they have to talk about human rights. They felt that they have to use AI to send out this false information, fake news, because we sounded the alarm on the show and said to them, you put it out, and you're going to get a letter from us. So guess what? They use AI. Drowning men, desperation, that's the action of desperation. They are desperate. They don't know what to do with themselves. It has gone viral. A civil society group in Trinidad sent the Prime Minister a letter and sent out a press release. I was in a chat with all of these Caribbean countries. I see somebody post it in there. Even the Trini press release going all about. They are in Potter. Timon goes on to say, so that same spirit that allowed the rebellion, the Bossa rebellion, you remember? And that same spirit that caused the 1937 riots, huh? That same spirit that caused our independence, he says, and continued progression is still present today. Timon is saying at 20 years old to the people of Barbados, it is not dead. You agree with Timon? You agree that that spirit is still there? Give me a thumbs up. We're doing this thing together, you know. We're in class. We're in class. Yeah. Listen to me. Huh? Paid operatives on... No. Tell me. You know what these people do? Because you tell Prime Minister Mia Mottley that because politicians have been paying people on social media, the influencers, they think that everybody who opens their mouth being paid. Not a soul is paying me. Not a soul. And if you're going to open your mouth and say I'm being paid, bring the receipts. Show the receipts. And when you're at it, don't speak general. Call my name if you're sure. You sure? Call my name and say I'm getting paid. Call my name. Go ahead and call it. But when you call my name, make sure you produce the receipts. I love this, Nigel. The tectonic plates of the political landscape are rumbling and shifting. That's what I came to tell you. That's the message I came on here to tell you tonight. They are so worried. So her in talking about 30 love and all of that, where I am saying to you, you don't have to join the UPP if you don't want to. You don't have to join the DLP if you don't want to. You don't have to join any party you want. You believe you have something to give to Barbados and you have been working in your community. Become an independent candidate then. Or whatever you do, but they must never get 30 in here again. And don't give 30 to none of these parties again. Never, Barbados. Never. You never do it again. You believe. I want you to think of this, Angela. Think about this. Can you imagine if we had even a 1614 in Parliament? You think that the cybercrime bill would reach where it is right now? Think about it. You think if we had like a 1614 inside of there, this would happen? It wouldn't happen. Even if we have a what? It's a 1713, it would not happen. But they're able to go in and bills are being passed like that. And this is why I say to Barbados, never again. Never again. In the name of Errol Barrow, never again. In the name of Clement P, never again. In the name of Bossa, never again. Let me read the chat. Let me read the chat. Yeah, let me read the chat. Yeah. Yes. By the time we are finished with them, they're going to resign, because there are some of them that are, they know why they need they know why they want this cybercrime bill. Some of these politicians know why. They know that there are videos with them and little girls. Some of these politicians in Barbados, they know the videos. Thank God I'm not a person that look at those things. Videos sent where they're in their offices and the chairs and everything mash up the office with the little girls that come for jobs and the little girls, the women that want to feed their children, but they have to open up their legs. They have to lay down on carpet. They have to lay down on their back on carpet. And some of those videos are flying around. We know of it, the Barbados Diddy Party, the BDP. Barbados Diddy Party, DIDDY. Barbados Diddy Party. Of some of these politicians would want the little girls to lay down on their backs on the carpet and throw them down on their desks and they have to tear up themselves wide open for a little job. But then when you came for the vote, it doesn't what you tell them. I hear from the mothers, send the daughter to go and get a job because you have to go and get a little letter from some of these politicians and what they are requiring for our Bajan women to do, some of these politicians and some of our little boy children. Some of the little boy children, they turn them over, they bend them over. Some of the little boy children, they bend them over. They have to bend over, and it's not to pick up the pencil, and it's not to pick up a hoe. It's not to pick up a work instrument. Because they have to give something to get something. That is what we are dealing with. And that's what I'm saying to us. Let us not start to quarrel with one another, Barbadians. Rise up and let's throw them out. Rise up and throw them out. And nobody paying me to say this. Nobody. Some of you politicians, you very well know that you get the girls in your constituency pregnant because they want a little job. Yeah. You all know, you know yourselves. You know yourselves, the ones that your wife is leaving you. You know who you are. The politicians. That's right, Jacqueline. Poor role models. I listened to a mother call me and said, listen, this is what they want to do with my daughter in order to get a job. And a lot of these young girls go and take and do it because they cannot. You see the prices in the supermarket? Yes, Patrick, they are letting our sons have to bend down, and they are throwing down our daughters of the soil on carpet and on top of desks. I don't pass those things around. I don't. But it's been happening time and time again. Some of them ages ago. The Nightingale Children's Home, people that have said that people are up to this day suffering from the trauma of little girls at the Nightingale Children's Home. That politicians in this country supposed to be taking little gifts for those little children, but raping them. Nobody paying me for this year, and this year not for sale. Unbought. I tell you all, don't mess with me. You little Barbados Diddy party. Let me tell you when it started. When I came on here on the last time I was on here, and I told you this thing is capsizing. I told you all. Share this live up, please. Share this live up, please. Young men going into politics have said to me that politicians in this country said, listen, in order for you to move up, you've got to do this. And here is $200,000. Come and sleep with me. Man telling another, a young budding politician, because they feel that is how it works. Breaking in our young girls, breaking in our young boys for power, for money. There's transaction and trading because things are hard. That's what's happening with our young people. But it was Cat Williams said that he's got to protect himself. Yeah, or little boys. Yes, satanic, running rampant in there. They're running rampant and doing a whole bunch of nastiness. Politicians. Those of you who are listening and you want to get into politics, these are some of the things that you have to make sure that you're not involved in. That's why I said we need a righteous revolution in Barbados. We need a righteous revolution. When you speak like this, when you speak like this now, they talk about, oh, you know, I'm against the LGBTQ community. Let me tell you, you could do whatever you want to do. I don't get into adult business. But you don't use power. When you're a politician and you're in a place of power, you don't make those exchanges with the people that look up to you and need something from you. This is what we are dealing with, right? From the Nightingale Children's Home, and we saw that coming all the way up. Some of them, oh Lordy, help me tonight, Lord, help me tonight. All the little young women. When you talk about this, they say you don't like, you're against lesbians. Adults can do whatever they want to do. I don't business in people's bedroom. But when you use your place of power to influence and to break in people and to carry out your nasty escapades is what I'm talking about. Why is it that female politicians have to go through this, almost like this gate, this ritual everybody have to go through? They have to break in, right? All the females have to break in. And then they pass down this, and then now they say, oh, you were born that way. No, you went and you did it. You go and you trying to get power, and you don't want to be left behind. So you make the big lesbians do what they want to do with you, and then come and try to say you were born that way. Born which way? What am I saying to us tonight? I'm not seeing my guest that is supposed to be on, so probably I just need to talk with you all tonight. There needs to be a righteous revolution in here, and it has started. The righteous revolution has started. Unbought, this, unbought. Unbought, this you see here, unbought. Unbossed. And that's what they're afraid of. Like for me, please. Share if you have not done that. Yes, Anika, is a P. Diddy effect. And the same thing that happened is going to happen here. We've heard the stories. We've heard the stories where they rent a house to have a party, and the kind of debauchery that goes on. I have spoken to landlords who say that politicians rent their homes to have parties, and when they get it back, it mash up. That kind of behavior, all of that needs to stop. That needs to stop. The tricking of people. Even the black belly sheep, you see them there? They see this? They came on the show tonight. The black belly sheep came on the show tonight. They're here tonight and they are protesting. They are protesting. They want their cousins, they want their uncles, they want everybody. They want everybody. This is what they're saying. I hear them. You can't hear them, but I hear them. They say that they know what happened to their relatives. These are the things, the lies that they tell us. The lies. And when you ask about it, then you're given trouble. And they find ways to shut you down. Because I told you I came on here with a mission tonight. I came with a mission. But I promised you that I was going to play a song before I got cut off. But you see, because I got cut off, they get me upset. So then I went down a road for them. Right? But let me just find this song here called Tight Lip. I'm looking for it. Right here. This is what they want.
Bim bam boom. Give it. I hear pigeons like plenty talking. We do like to lick we mouth. Even here we like enough complaining. Everything we complain about. The rates get criticized daily. People want the potholes repair. Want more garbage trucks and more buses. That's the kind of things I just hear. I just hear about all the consultants. Me you got getting big money. I just hear about the politicians that be voting and now don't see. But even though you like talking and you love a piece of gossip, certain topics I see you shunning. You refuse to open your lips. Tight lip, tight lip, tight lip. I can't hear a word about if any Bajans died from giving the COVID vaccine. Do they have something to hide? Tight lip. You won't tell me when breathalyzer testing will come. Seems you're not serious about saving lives. You're serious about selling rum. Tight lip. Not a single word about those people being abandoned. Family drop them off at the hospital and never go back for them. Tight lip. I just hardly hear anything about mental health and why so much young people depressed and killing themselves. Tight lip. Tight lip. But like I hear supermarkets jumping out behind. I read national dishes now macaroni pie. I hear God is a bitch and he live right here. So when a hurricane coming, no need to prepare. But when I ask, are you prepared for Jesus' return? You know everybody now turn. Tight lip, tight lip. So much child abuse in this country, but everybody quiet. School girl got she man sleeping at she, and she mommy encouraging it. Cause the man paying light and water, buying groceries for the house. Mommy getting piece of change regular, so she keeping quiet like mouse. Now I hear the women complaining for the worthless men where they work. Every day for sex the men begin to get up on the damn skirt. And some managers they so wicked, like they're coming nasty tricks, telling women to get promoted, they have to open them lips. Tight lip, tight lip, tight lip. I can't hear a word about this human trafficking ring. Men bringing women to Barbados and got them prostituting. Tight lip. Not a single word about teachers who ban suspension for begging schoolboy and cure for sex. That is the allegation. Tight lip. shut your mouth. Don't go washing your dirty linen in public and all about. That's the problem with the DLP. There ain't no man to shut them face, but believe them to run this country. I can't even run them one place. Now the public walking about saying Calypsonians sell out and they soft. How they afraid if they sing about me, the raving friend they get things take off. So they singing about women bumpers, drinking rum and getting the late. But to sing and criticize me, all the mouth stick down with Scotch tape. Tight tape, tight tape, tight tape. I can't hear a word about all these cost overruns, or why police don't ever search the heights and terrorists for guns. Tight tape. Every year you say you can done with 11 plus, but you're silent on the replacement. Not a word you ain't telling us. I can't hear a word about the flying fish agreement between Barbados and Trinbago. Even fishermen are silent. You can run real fast or create a cybercrime bill, but integrity legislation, you're silent and I will still. But I can hear that my wife ran me and left me. How she come home and find a man kissing me. I hear her door, she raised got a black noisy. If I hear her tell sing that a big and ugly. But when we ask about this woman, Admiral Hit, you know everybody can give. Tight tip, tight tip. Bim bam boom. Give me.
Oh my goodness. No, yes, social commentary alive and well. I agree, and we have to give it up for Mr. Eric Lewis. And don't always agree with everything that he does, but let me tell you, this song is really, really, really what's happening in Barbados. We're choosing for the things we want to talk about, and they want us to be tight-lipped. They want us to have, you see the picture, had the mouth with the tape on it. That's what they want. Monica In said she loved this hard song by Eric Lewis. Yes. yes, Tamika. Yes. yes, a lot of people. This was Crop Over 2024. Yeah, a lot of these songs that don't get played, But I have inside the studio here with me Miss Shakwani Hunt, one of my favorite people in the world. Good evening, Shakwani. Girl, you can.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
I know you're not tight-lipped. I know you're not tight-lipped. You went all the way to Washington and you were blubbering your mouth in Washington, weren't you?
Yep, and I came back to Barbados and continued to speak.
In fact, you just came back from Trinidad. I mean, I didn't even expect you to be on tonight. You just came back from Trinidad. When did you get back in?
Last night. I got back in last night.
So tell the people what you did in Trinidad. I'm putting you on the spot. You didn't come on here to do that, right? But what you doing in Trinidad?
So in Trinidad, I applied for, before I got to Trinidad, I applied for a women in politics training session. So it was a lot of other women from all over the Caribbean, and we all applied. And then if you were successful, you went on the trip. So in going to the trip, I must say it was amazing. All women. They had one man who was the reverend, and then one man who was taking pictures. But also most of the people that attended the activity were all women. Either women ministers, women senators, potential women candidates who ran previously from all over the Caribbean. And it was amazing to be in a room full of people who, one, have a voice. They want to figure out how to get the voice stronger. And we were able to discuss topics that are pressing in different Caribbean countries and come up with solutions to help one another navigate those issues. But it was excellent. It was really a coming together of women.
Mhm. What would you say was a highlight for you for that conference?
The highlight for the conference was the ability to understand the presenters, even though some presenters weren't, no presenters were from Barbados. So that means that what they were talking about was slightly different in terms of the political realm or even in terms of leadership. But you were able to make it relatable to your country. And with that knowledge, you can build from it. And also the sisterhood. We had an inside joke where the Minister of Gender Affairs from Trinidad said we're the sisterhood, the traveling pants. So when you're either running in whatever country you're running in, even if you're not a runner, you're just behind the scenes, support each other, be there for one another. And in saying that, make sure that if one person is doing something, you find a way to get that amplified or you find a way to support them because together we're stronger. And that was the bigger message coming out of that.
Yes, yes, yes. That is awesome. And somebody here, I'm looking at you here, Shakwani, and you are 20, right? Although you did tell us your age on here, but
Yeah.
Shakwani, somebody mentioned Shirley Chisholm. They said some new
Mm-hmm.
Shirley Chisholm, and she was Barbadian, right?
Yes, she
And let me
was.
just read something about her because we're talking about people standing up, Shakwani, people standing up, people saying, I will step in, I will do something. And we see the state that Barbados is in. And you are one of those young women that you're putting your hand up and you're saying, I am ready to work to get my country out the ditch. So let's hear a little about Shirley Chisholm, that
Mhm.
she was born on November 30th, 1924, right? And she was the
Absolutely.
first Black woman to be elected to the United States Congress.
Mhm.
And she was Barbadian, but she was the first Black woman to be elected to the United States Congress. And this is why I say, Shakwani, when Shakwani, when you think about the narrative that they give us about Barbadians, right? And
Mhm.
worse, Barbadian women that they're so passive. When you hear about Shirley Chisholm being the first American politician, she was the first Black woman to be elected to the United States Congress. How do you put those things together? Bajans being passive, but yet still there's this woman, a Bajan woman in America doing this kind of thing.
I don't know where they go, but I've never met a passive Bajan, whether it be woman or man. We're not passive, we're passionate. If we care about something, we're passionate to the end. I remember I had this principle. He always used to say, if Shakwani is wrong, she will apologize. But if Shakwani is right, she will not apologize. She will go hard. She will go down die hard on her beliefs, especially when she's right. She has no fear to apologize when wrong. But when right, she will stand up for what she believes in. And in saying that, it doesn't start at my age, it started younger. And being able, I tell people all the time, my mother always told me, you're small, make your voice big. And you need to speak to your children, you need to speak to your grandchildren because starting from young is where it begins. When you start them from young, something as simple as speaking up in class, correcting people when they call your name incorrectly, because a lot of people let that slide. But you're not trying to be rude, but you're trying to make sure that people get it right. I remember sometimes I would go into rooms, people knew my name, but they would always address me as a young lady. I remember the second time it happened the same night. I waited till the event was finished. I pulled the guy to the side. I said, "Excuse me, I understand that it might be difficult for you to remember my name, but my name isn't young lady. If you could
Mm.
remember the names of the men, you could remember the names of the women,
Woo.
because the young lady who sang, you addressed her as the young lady. The person who gave the vote of thanks, you addressed her as the young lady. So it's disrespectful when the men have names, but the women have young lady or woman. The same effort you put in to remember the others, you can remember us. So simple things like making sure that people don't walk over you makes a difference. You don't have to be rude. You just have to be firm in your beliefs and make sure that your point goes over.
Wow,
And
well,
that
I
is
tell you that you are. This is a Shirley. We have a Shirley Chisholm right here, and it's not just Shaquani, but it's all of you out there.
Mhm.
It's all of you, right,
Yeah.
Shaquani? Listen, this Shirley Chisholm, right?
Mhm.
She became the first Black candidate for a major party nomination for President of the United States. Do you understand? The first
Mm.
Black candidate, not just Black female, but the first Black candidate for a major party nomination for the President of the United States. And she was the first woman to run for the Democratic Party presidential nomination. Throughout her
First.
career, she was known for taking a resolute stand against economic, social, and political injustices, as well as being a strong supporter of Black civil rights and women's rights. Shirley Chisholm, right? Barbadian. I am saying to us, I don't know where they get this thing of not wanting to be tight-lipped. I don't want to speak up. Shaquani, what do you say about those people who might be listening and say, man, I'm afraid to speak up? What do you say to them?
What I will say is be your authentic self. Why are you afraid? That is the first question you must address. Why
Mhm.
are you afraid? And in answering that to yourself, because you don't need to say it in public, really think about, are you really afraid, or are you just not sure how to word your message? Because if that's the case, you can write it down. And I tell people all the time, when I prepare for presentations, I record it. When I prepared for the presentation overseas, I recorded it. Marcia told me, do the recording, look it over, see how you can make your adjustments. You don't have to go on a platform to speak your mind. You don't even need to leave your house. You can speak your mind at work, you can speak your mind with your family, but
Mhm.
you need to stop being afraid. You need to choose not to be afraid, because it is a choice. Because even though it seems like people are losing their jobs when they say something, they can't fire everybody. And I can tell you, if you're fired for something you say, we know excellent lawyers. It is not like in the past where the information was not readily at hand, but you have to say something to get help. In saying this, a lady reached out to me today and she said, I don't know what to do, Shakwani. The school meal service right now is so hard.
Mm. It's
I
horrible. You're saying the school meal service is horrible?
no, she said it's so hard. She
Mm.
said we're trying everything we can do to get the lunch finished on time so it could go to the schools. I told her, well, I remember last year school meals was arriving at some schools at 2:45. And
Mm.
some schools had to let the children play all in the afternoon because they couldn't bring them back in because they had no lunch. The children were hungry, so they had to do something
Mhm.
with them. She said they have multiple machines broken. They don't plan to fix them. So that means that they have to work well, they have to work harder just to get the equipment clean to do the next set of food. And also that she also made mentions that they're also short of staff. And in being short of staff, they are asked to work harder to accommodate that. So they're doing something that would be maybe a team of 13 is now to a team of 8 or 5.
No, this is a young lady who she prepares the school meals for our children here in Barbados. About how old is this young lady?
Well, she's not as young, but she is in the school meal service. She's around her
Okay.
40 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just expressing how saddening it is because even though they're complaining, they're trying to get assistance, no one is listening.
Mm-hmm.
She even said that they were waiting for the Minister of Education to come to some watches and she didn't get there as yet. And she's hoping that she'll be able to come because when she sees the conditions, she will understand when they're saying this is not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
asked her, how is the healthy school program going? Like, how is that initiative working? She said it's not working. The only vegetables that they already get is squash.
Mm-hmm.
I think she told me, and carrots. That is all they get, and they're trying to get them to add them into existing meals, and it isn't working. She said the real shame is that the amount of food that you see in the garbage cans, in the buckets, when children bring it to discard it, is so disappointing because the children aren't eating the food after they suggest. I mean, after they change it in this manner. And she said, I rather the child eat food than it throw the food away and go back home hungry, because that is another problem that they're not even addressing. Children are going to school, they may get there, they may not have had breakfast at home, expecting lunch, and then the lunch is something that they're not accustomed to or they don't like, and they're
Mm-hmm.
not eating it, they're going back home hungry. That is a problem that we also need to address.
Mm-hmm.
And when I thought about it, I was like, food is being thrown away. She was like, so much food is thrown away on a daily basis because it is not what the children want to eat. So I asked her to explain to me, what is the menu like? She was like, well, most of the menu now is either tuna or saltfish, and occasionally they may throw in the beef. I was like, so they don't offer chicken at this time? She was like, it has nothing to do with the chicken shortage. It's just that chicken was not on the menu. So I said, every day is either tuna or fish, and then they get a beef. Tuna or saltfish. I was like, what kind of balanced meal is that? Because that isn't a balanced meal. If you're going to rejig something, I think you should make it better. You should even consult the people who are preparing the meals, because I think it's unjust to put our children through something like that. Because yes, things might be hard at home, but if you're going to say somebody, you're going to give somebody a balanced meal, it cannot be macaroni and tuna. That can't be it. And it needs to be a standard that children will eat.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
think they could have done some tests when they rejig the menu, because it would have been more impactful than
Mm-hmm.
have a large number of food being wasted. When you consider how many children don't have meals at home, because I also asked, so the extra school meals, one is given to children who have hard times at home.
Mm-hmm.
She said when she worked as a person serving, because she had done that for a while, she said she recognized that they had a child that needed some, so she packed some for him and his family so he can go home.
Mm-hmm.
I really am concerned that sometimes the school does not have a record of who needs additional assistance. Some schools may do it, but I think we need to do better, because
Yes.
if situation like that, there's so much wastage. There are families who need.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I did not even know, they're cooking for around 8,000 students a day.
Wow. And how big is the staff? And what's the size of the of
Well, what she
of the
explained to me, there are different facilities, but her facility, they cook for 8,000 students a day.
mm,
And when I thought about it, I was like, that is a lot. So how do you make sure everything comes out on time? She said some days they go in for 4 a.m. just to make sure that they get the meals completed by 10
mhm,
a.m. so it
mhm,
can go to the schools. And I was like, okay, so is that adjustment in your hours? No, we still have to work to the normal time, even though we come in early. So I
mhm,
asked her, so how is life for you as a person who works in school meals as a cook? She told me she's not a cook. That is not what she's scheduled as. She is a temporary worker and she's a prep cook. Even though
mhm.
she and her team are the ones who are cooking the meals, they're classified as that, so they get paid less.
Right.
That also means it impacts them in a way because they can't get loans because they're classified as temporary workers. Even though they've been working there for years, they have not changed the classification, they have not appointed them. And it is extremely frustrating when people are trying to help themselves and at every turn they're being turned around.
Mhm,
I think
mhm.
we need to do better, because I feel as parents, you need to investigate. When I went to school, my mother knew what was being served at the school. She knew what days I didn't want to eat lunch, and I had a packed lunch. Everybody does not have that opportunity. But as a parent, you have a PTA. That means that you have an opportunity to voice your opinions
Correct.
on
Yeah.
what could make your child's life easier and better, because the standard that our children are getting now is not good enough. You know what
Mhm.
is children receiving food at 2:45? And I know that nobody ain't heard about that, but I heard about it because
Hold
I
a
had,
minute. So you're saying sometimes the school meals come at 2:45 p.m.?
yes.
Wow.
And I
Anybody else out there knew that this was happening? And the reason I paused to ask to make sure of that, I remember in COVID, we were doing some classes with children, just to keep them
Mhm.
occupied and to keep them abreast with this syllabus and so on. And a lot of them were saying, well, if we don't go to school, we don't get to eat. I said, do you bring any lunch? We don't bring lunch. We get lunch at school, ma'am. And one boy, he says, my mom only cook on a Sunday because I eat school meals. So a lot of these children are This is the kind of country that we are living in. That our Prime Minister Shakwani was saying how good we're having it in Barbados at this time. And you're telling me there are families that depend on the school meals, and because the school meals staff, they are short of staff, then the school meals get to the schools sometimes at 2:30 p.m. Are you all hearing
Yes.
this?
I know that there are some parents who can attest to this because they would be bringing lunch to the schools later.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact because I had a friend who worked at the school, and they were like, well, we just have the children they pass. The children can't focus on an empty stomach. There's no way to combat that. And the only way to address that is let the children play until they can't play no more. And
Mm-hmm.
they even express that children will come to them and tell them, I'm so hungry, is the food here yet? Because I know a lot of parents probably don't know about this unless you are actively involved. When children get home, you ask them, how was your day? What did you do at school? They usually tell you, oh, I played today.
Right.
So sometimes they don't get to go into detail
Mm-hmm.
about every single thing that happens at the school. But we need to check in on our children and check in with the PTA. The PTA is very important when you have children who are currently in school. Right, somebody here in the comments is saying that my son expressed to me the lateness. Oh wait, I can pull it up so everybody can. Right. Yeah, that is ridiculous. And I think that this is something that is top
Wow,
priority.
I want everybody take it and read what is on the screen. And bearing in mind, Shakwani, as I said earlier, that some of the children, because of what is happening in our country at this time, because of the economic situation in this country that this government has families under, a
Mhm.
lot of our children, their only meal
At school.
is the school meals. And to think that, I mean, they're making the food like prison food, nothing that the children want to eat.
I
And
don't even want to reference prison food because some people say prison food is good. I don't know. I've never been to prison, but I hear that prison food is good. So maybe we may need to switch up something because you want something to be healthy. That doesn't mean that you should do it without thinking it through. And then if you're cooking for you can imagine, Marcy, think about cooking for 3 people or 4 people for a regular household. You imagine cooking for 8,000 people and you're
mm,
short of staff. That has to impact on the time and the outcome.
but somebody's saying here, and this is what, because right now, they were debating in Parliament, us getting another loan. And
Mm-hmm.
there it is, all of the 29 of them, trying to convince Barbados of why they and they just do this out of, I guess, what wrote, because they know they're going to pass it. And here it is that they are now in Parliament talking about why we need another loan. And look at what is happening. As somebody's saying here, that I mean, with all the upgrades that's happening, all, the progressive talk, we're such a progressive country, and all of this, and look at what is happening with our school meals. What do you say about that, Shakwani, when you see the kind of debt that Barbados is in? Why is it that our school meals cannot be upgraded?
Because they don't want it to. And that's the reality. Because when they want to do something, they find the money. So that's the simple answer. When they want to do something, they find the money. They need
But
to
Shaquan,
say
if
that
someone
our
would say,
children are
well, I mean,
important.
we spent all of that money on Kensington, okay? We spent all that money down at Oystins, right? We spent money just being spent, and they're spending them in the millions. And the school meals program that is there to take care of our children, Jaquani. This is our children. That this is a condition that is in. You think that is that good enough?
It is not good enough, and I can tell you, it has to be contributing to the fights at schools as well. Because think about when you're hungry, you can't function, you can't think, and think about when you're a small child, your emotions are even harder to control and to decipher. So putting that kind of pressure on them and then adding on hungriness. Hungriness is a real thing. When I was in primary school, there were two girls who used to come school late, and all they would do all day is sleep on the desk.
Mm-hmm.
And they will always be rude and getting in trouble all the time and always be fighting. And they will always, as you would say as a child, they will be begging. But when you go home, you speak to your parents recognize, well, okay, they're not begging, something is wrong. Because a child might want to exchange a snack, but not every single day they will become so they don't have anything. So you know what a parent did? A parent spoke to the children privately and recognized that they weren't having breakfast. They didn't have any money for school meals, so they couldn't pay. And when they got home, there was nothing to eat. So these children were hungry and they were angry and they had no way to speak out about it. So the parent notified the school, and every morning she brought breakfast for them and she sent lunch money for them. And they weren't even both in the same class, they were in different classes. And then the breakfast program was created at that particular primary school. So any child who didn't have breakfast could get breakfast free from the school. So something as simple as that assisted in a huge way, because you can see the behavior change one time. A child isn't angry anymore because they're hungry, so they can calm down, relax, and focus in class. So think about it. Some children are sleeping all day on the desk, or they're acting out, and teachers are saying, oh, they're behaving badly. But at home, the home life might be hard. They might not be getting anything to eat, and then come school. You don't have any money if you're in secondary school, so you can't buy lunch. And I was informed, if you aren't on the welfare program, you can't get free school meals in secondary school, which I don't think should be a factor, because if a child comes to school and doesn't have money today, not every day a parent may be able to afford to send a child with lunch money. When I was going to school, I used to get $10 a day for lunch. And then as I got older, I got more money because things went up. I cannot imagine what lunch is at secondary school right now.
Wow, yeah, that's true. Let me ask parents at secondary school, how much do you give your child for lunch? Those of you who, some people are able to, they have the groceries to be able to, to prepare the lunch. I know of a young lady who I said to her, I was saying to her, what do you do, at lunchtime? Do you tell me your day at school, how it goes, and so on? And she says, well, at lunchtime, I sit by myself. I said, why are you sitting by yourself and what, find friends? She says, because, Auntie, I don't have lunch and the others have lunch. So I sit by myself because I don't have. So I said, but why don't you? I said, okay, you don't have the money to bring by the lunch. I said to her, listen, you're going to have to get up early. This is me. I'm talking to the child. Get up early. Help mommy out because mommy has to go to work too. And prepare your lunch. I said, you can make a sandwich. She said, but mom, mommy says that I can't eat out all the things because then I won't have breakfast. Shakwani, I just stood there looking at her because here am I saying to her, come on, be responsible, help out your mommy. But mommy said, listen, you either eat it at lunch or breakfast because I don't have any more.
It's like that.
This is what, and I want Barbadians, Shakwani, to take a moment. I want us to take a moment. People are saying that they send the child with $20. $20. I want you to sit and think about it. Everybody cannot afford this $20 to send to school, and everybody don't have the groceries that's in their refrigerator to make lunch. So some people say make lunch, but listen, like
With
that little girl who told me, it's either lunch or the breakfast. And so the mother says, I wanted to eat the breakfast, but it can't be both. It can't be both. And I am saying to people who are listening, because Shakwani,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people listen to us on this program and they come on and they say, all I do, I criticize and so on. But think about it. Let's be rational about this. If our prime minister, if this government was, borrowing a lot of money and then they are presenting good, nice, healthy, well, look great looking food for our young people that the children are rushing to get to school to eat the meals, we wouldn't complain so much because
No.
we would see where the money is going. If you agree with me, I want you to put a thumbs up in the comment section. If it is that you felt that the school meal system, we had an overhaul and an
Mm-hmm.
upgrade of our school meal system where the children get a fruit and they get some vegetables, even if they don't eat the vegetable, but they might eat the fruit. They get food that they like to eat because we believe in education. Even if we could look Shakwani and say, well, they borrowed money, but at least we see a very good upgrade in our school meal system. How would you feel about that, Shakwani?
I will feel amazing. Why I will say we gave Jack their jacket. I'm saying that because you don't have to recreate the wheel. We're even not even asking for new equipment. We're asking you to maintain and fix the equipment you already have because yes, times are hard. But what makes times more difficult is when you don't repair the equipment, you don't send new equipment, and then you give excuses, and that impacts the children of Barbados. Think about your future. Was being hungry, and I know there's a lot of reports of children being dehydrated because outside is hot. It's not only the lack of water they're not allowed to drink. I mean, they're not drinking enough because some children go to school with bottles. You can refill them at school, but children are hungry. And we know for a fact that this is a direct factor for why children can behave bad because think about when we are hungry and how it affects us. Sometimes we as adults we're counting our pennies to make ends meet. Children don't have any pennies to count. They are relying on the parents to provide, and sometimes the parents cannot provide. I knew of a household that at the end, after she paid all of her bills,
Mm.
she told me she had $5. And with that $5, she did not know how to spend that money because
Wow.
what could she really buy for $5? And she had two children, one child at secondary school and one child at primary school.
Mm.
And she said, it's not that I don't work, I work every single day. It
Mm.
is just not enough money. And her husband was working as well. He had to cover out the rent because rent in Barbados is extremely high as well. So when she
Mhm.
told me it, she had to make the most of what she had. And what I did was donated how I could to assist her. Yes, there are programs out there. And if anybody knows any programs where people can get assistance in meals, getting dry goods, drop them in the comments because we're looking to help people tonight. We're looking to
Mhm.
help people because people really don't know where to go. And it's not as simple as saying go to welfare because the process. Sometimes not everybody will be able to get assistance, and it may be a slow
Yes.
process. People need help now, and if you know any programs that can help people in this regards where they can get dry goods so that they can make ends meet, because some people aren't looking for fancy things, they're looking for the basics. They're looking for tuna, they're looking for biscuits, they're looking for cornmeal. Because I tell people all the time, when you shop, you have to shop smart to create meals. A pack of cornmeal, last time I checked, was $1.60. I don't know if the price changed, but
Mhm.
tuna to go with that is around $3. That's $5 there roughly in a meal.
Right.
When you
I
shop,
mean, and the tuna, let's talk about the tuna. The tuna
tuna
price has gone
expensive.
up. That tuna is to serve one time you could use a tin of tuna and three of you could eat from it. Dave called me in the kitchen and said, Marcia, look at this. He poured a tin of tuna out in and it's one serving for $3. One
Tuna,
serving.
what I will say, eating meat in Barbados is very expensive. I don't know how we do it. Honestly, I'm saying a lot of people probably aren't eating meat anymore because it is expensive. Even the simple meat, like A can of
Well,
corned beef.
before you go, well, hold on there, because
Uh-huh.
hold on there. Look at what Doriel Clark is saying. Doriel, I don't know, is this true? The school meal center in Six Roads is still unfinished after more than 13 years. So it would mean that the other administration started it, and these come in, and they have borrowed so much money, like this amount of money that the prime minister is borrowing. I couldn't watch the program, so I don't even know, how much she is borrowing this time around. I didn't get to watch all of the debate in Parliament. I don't know if somebody can tell me how much money was she borrowing, and what are we planning to do with it? Because something like this, though, Barbadians, come on, let's think about it. Our school, this is our children, this is our future, and you're telling me that the school meal center is not important enough. So some of this borrowed money, could be spent on it. Who knows what's the total amount of money that has been borrowed so far? Who knows?
Do
Who
we
knows?
really?
Somebody out there knows. Okay. At one point, I mean, I was trying to keep track, but I can't keep track anymore. Does anybody have a current figure? Anybody has a current figure? And that's the thing. Even if we could say, okay, this happened, they're borrowing the money, but you know what, they finished the school meal, something up, for our children,
Or
it's not.
renovating these schools. Like there are so much things. I
Sorry,
don't
I
want to
broke
say
your train of thought. Go ahead, you were saying about
no.
the bills.
Honestly, they have me really disappointed because when it comes to children, we always try to protect children and keep them safe. School just started, and every time I turn on my phone, unfortunately, this school is closed today due to environmental problems. Unfortunately, this school is closed today because construction is still going on. I know as a person who is in construction, before you even start a work, you need to give a duration of time for the work to be completed.
Hmm.
There's a time limit. You also do a walkthrough to assess what needs to be done. It's either that they're hiring bad contractors or whoever is overseeing this work needs to be scrutinized because it is
Hmm.
ridiculous. You mean every single school, say school has started, has a problem? Previously, yes, we would have had one or two schools have a problem, not even when the first week of school, probably later. But on top of schools having issues, environmental problems, school children not having food,
Hmm.
this is two problems. And then I heard a lady calling the calling program, and she was talking about how violent the behavior is at school. That she was afraid for her son's life because he was beaten by two children, and then they complained and he was penalized. And she had to take her son to the doctor. I honestly feel that they need to relook whatever plan they have for schools and just cross it out because it's not working. We can tell that it's not working because we are seeing too many ripple effects of the outcome of this plan. I'm saying a plan because I cannot imagine they started school without even having a plan. So I'm going to say that they have one. But this plan is not working. When children aren't getting food on time, it is not working. When the food isn't to a good quality and standard, your plan is not working. And parents need to stop being afraid and speak up for your children. Because this is the only education that they will get, and you need to make sure that they're getting the most out of their education. I asked my sister. I recognize that my niece school is closed a lot. What's going on about that? That she told me that,
Really?
yeah. I don't want to say the school because I don't want anybody to get penalized. But she told me that my niece is in class four. She told me that, oh, with the class fours, they're going to relocate them to different schools.
Wow.
I said, but isn't that going to impact her psyche? Because all these children she came up to school with, they're now doing the exam together. How can they be
Hmm.
splitting them up in class four now that they've taken the exam? Wouldn't that impact the children as they prepare to go and do the 11 plus? She said, well, it's just a waiting game. We're just going to wait to see how it's going to turn out. I said, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And my sister, she's a pleasant person. I want to say she's more pleasant than me. So she's really waiting to see what is going on. But I told her, make sure she's in lessons. And she said, you know what? She is in lessons. So on top of, you have to spend more money at supermarket, you have to spend more money with your children to send them to lessons because lessons isn't free. You may find some angels who are willing to donate time and give you some free lessons. And if you know anybody who's doing free lessons, please put that in the chat as well. Let's share the information that we have so we can empower people to do better. But times are really difficult. And I'm seeing people are saying in the chat about the school meals being late. So it is not just a myth, it is a fact.
So basically, I mean, and I'm here to just that someone Kamar was saying that the prime minister was there to argue about why we need this $600 million. Prime Minister, are you using this money to invest in our children in Barbados? Are you going to use it to invest in the infrastructure of our schools? Are you going to use it to upgrade our school meals plan or our school meals service? Is that what you're using the $600 million for, ma'am?
I don't know.
What are you using it for, Prime Minister? That you would believe that you could open your mouth in Parliament and talking about why we need this $600 million and our children are suffering like this, when parents cannot even afford, can't even buy a tuna and biscuits for their children, and you, yeah, and you are arguing for $600 million. Why? And this is the kind of thing, Shaquani, that happens. And people feel that they, you know what, they're making too much noise and they, open your mouth and speak up. This is if I am paying taxes, at least spend it on my children now. At least spend it on my children. Why is it children have to go to school today and they have to run outside because bees live inside the school? The poor picnic them and the teachers have to be running. Actually, somebody said to me that it is foretelling or foretelling of what really happening. We are getting under the skin of the bees, and that's why the thing is the bees. They're getting the nervous, and they're starting to create havoc in the school. But it's the bees. It's really the bees that is running the people out of the school. The bees, the 29 of them. Yeah, yes, it's them. It's them causing the bees causing the problems in the schools. Why your nieces can't go to school? They have to be sending children now to go to. Why should we, with all of this money that has been borrowed? Prime Minister Mia Motley.
Marcia. I want to know where the money is going also, because if we can see, yes, the roads are bad, but you're going to tell me every single cent we're borrowing, we're going to try to fix roads? Because at this rate, something has to be wrong, because we're fixing roads so frequently, but they're still coming back up so frequently. It doesn't seem right to me. But on another note, I did see somebody here in the comments say that in St. George, the school meals comes at 10:30 every day, and I'm thankful that that happens in St. George, because I know there are different school meal stations. So that means that some are working more efficiently and some may not have the same problems as others. And I'm thankful for this person who actually made this comment, because I don't want it to seem like it's one-sided and we're saying every school in Barbados gets its school meals late. So if you know something, say something, because that would assist us in letting the government know where are the areas that are being impacted by this.
Yeah, somebody's writing here that Motley was spewing nonsense that this loan is necessary. You mean it becomes? Is it what was she using it? What she asking? Is she asking for the loan to help our children in Barbados to fix our schools and to make sure that the school meals are up to par and healthy, right? And how dare Mr. Thorne challenge her about putting the citizens in more debt? Yes, you will be challenged, Prime Minister Mia Motley, because you do not know what you're doing. In Jamaica, we say you don't know A from Bullfoot. You don't know what is happening. You cannot govern. You don't know how to use money. You are a bad governor. The only thing you're good for is to travel And we want, please travel. Please travel. Somebody wrote here to me on WhatsApp, another 600 million being borrowed from the local banks. You know, when a government is in trouble, when they're continuously borrowing money to clear debt. Nothing significant is happening in the country. Let us speak the truth. The same projects are being mentioned all the time, the sewage project, the water work. What is happening to the money that was allocated to all of that? We don't even have the public accounts committee that Mr. Thorne trying to get going. They don't want it because they don't want any accountability of the billions of dollars that this government has borrowed. More money borrowed than put together than any other government in the history of this country. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Mia Mottley, a bad governor, and talk about you're a minister of finance. I can't count. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's what happened. A lot of us, let me tell you something, Shaquani. I'm serious. That analogy of the bees, it's a prophetic analogy of what is happening to us in this country. Where all we hear them in your ears and you're running from bees. Who stay around when bees, nobody stay around with bees? Even if you can hang around with some flies, right? Shaquani, once the bees come out, what are you going to do? Run. And that's what they want us to do. But you know what? They want us to run and leave this country, to leave for them and their friends, the elites, to come and take over this country. A lot of the bees have come out, right? It's 6 years of them, 6 years of the bees, right? Causing annoyance. We need to, the cybercrime bill need to go on them, causing annoyance and emotional distress upon all of us in this country. And a lot of our young people are running from the bees.
Marcia,
that is what is happening.
We need more people to speak out. Because one thing that I learned at this conference is that everybody loves Barbados Prime Minister and they believe she's the best thing in the world. And we have no hardships in Barbados. Everything is hunky-dory and is amazing. I'm saying that because that is how they felt. When I spoke about some of the issues that are pressing and urgent that need addressing, they could not even believe that this is Barbados. They said, you have issues there? I said, yes. When I explained to them the cybercrime bill and what I did in Washington along with the team, they could not even believe. They even asked me to share to them the cybercrime bill because they couldn't even believe that something like that was drafted. It was unimaginable to them because in their eyes, Barbados is the place to be. We have the best prime minister in the world. She does amazing work. So they could not even imagine that we have dirty water. They couldn't imagine that people don't have water. They couldn't imagine that we have chicken shortages where you now have to select only 2 chickens in the supermarket. They really believe that it is safe, we don't have crime, we don't have any issues because our prime minister is on the world stage and it seems to them like she's doing an amazing job. They said she's the prime minister of the Caribbean. And that is what they said, that she's the prime minister of the Caribbean. And I told them, what I will say is that our prime minister does an excellent job on the world stage in what she is doing and advocating for. But Barbadians need her to come home and advocate for these issues here because the ministers are not doing their job. They're not doing nothing. It's like they're on vacation. It's like they're on vacation. And if we don't get more people speaking out, the world would believe that Barbados is perfect. We have no hardship. Nothing is wrong with us. So if we keep pretending that nothing is wrong.
Finish that point and I have to say something here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was saying if we keep pretending that nothing is wrong and saying nothing, people would really believe that nothing is wrong.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking as you mentioned, we were talking about the loans and she's saying how much we need. No, you mean you need it. Not you need it because you love money. You love money. That is your thing. You love money. That's why she wants to go and see Trump. Money, climate, green, the green money. You remember they developed the green bank? Well, you're lucky. You're lucky because I can't see Trump meeting with you, and you're not going to get no more climate funds. Huh? That is because you're wasting. We got all of this here. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Someone told me from overseas, Shakwani. You remember that lawyer that sat across from you?
Mm-hmm.
It's being alleged. It's being alleged, and I'm asking the government to verify this. That lawyer, the allegation that is I'm speaking of tonight, is that lawyer, Shakwani, that sat across from you, that Timon had around his finger like this,
Mm-hmm.
20-year-old Timon, never went to law school, had him around his finger like that. It is being alleged that lawyer was paid 200,000 US dollars. Pause and let that sink in. It is being alleged that the lawyer that that this government got to represent and to defend the silencing of its people, they got a lawyer to defend the silencing and the mass censorship of the people of Barbados. The allegation that the and they listen to the show, so you can let us know and produce the receipt. If you're going to say it's not true, that it's approximately 200,000 US dollars that lawyer was paid. Don't mind, Shakwani, you know that our lawyer, we never pay a cent.
Our lawyer
Zero.
free.
Zero for the citizens, and you see how well we did.
Yeah.
Zero.
Free.
That I'm telling you, that's an allegation. I'm telling you true. The 200,000 is an allegation. Somebody research it for us overseas and send back the information. And that's why I'm asking the question. For 200,000 US dollars? You mean 400,000 Barbados to do that?
Marcia, Marcia, I want to say something. I spoke to a fisherman, right? And I asked him, what is the cost to build back a boat or buy a boat? Like, what is the price range? He told me $450,000. That is what a boat costs now to replace his boat that was damaged. So with that lawyer that they paid, they could at least buy back one more boat.
At least one boat.
And
how much? I look at how much they're giving the fisher folk. I like a $3,000, and they still cannot give them the money. The people still want the money. And if this is true, and this is why because I know they watch the show, Shakwani, come and tell us and show us a receipt that you did not pay $400,000 Barbados dollars, 200,000 US dollars for somebody to come and do that. That's what I would say. Do that. Anybody who watched that, let a 20-year-old team on have him so, hey, growing finger. You believe that, Shakwani?
How could we not believe it? What I will say, we will wait to see what they say because they love to respond and they always have an answer for something. It may not be the right answer, but they may have an answer. And I think they really need to address this and come to the public and explain if this is what it costs. How frequently do they use him? Because this may not be the first time that you're using him.
No, it's not the first.
Again. So imagine how many boats they could have purchased, how many school meals plants they could have refurbished, how many schools they could have repaired. I'm not saying they don't need a lawyer. I'm not saying people should not be paid for the work. But when we have people without water or people without drinkable water and we have children not eating food and schools in the condition that children cannot go to school and people are getting sick, we need to be more mindful of how we are spending money because it is impacting the citizens of Barbados. And if you're not sure how it is impacting them, people can't even afford to go to the doctor. That is why accident and emergency is so overwhelmed all of the time. They can't afford. You feel that Bajans seeing you posting, don't come to accident and emergency will still go, don't they? If they could do better, they cannot do any better. Even when you go to some of these private facilities, they're overwhelmed. They don't know what they're doing. They usually have a lot of young doctors. And sometimes they still charge you a lot of money and then send you to the hospital and you still have to wait. people do not go to get treated badly or in a manner where they would not prefer to be treated if they could do better. So if I
Yeah.
had money to go to a doctor, I would just pay and go. But because I don't have it, I have to go and sit down and wait there or go to one of the clinics. People
Well,
are struggling.
listen, I'm getting something in my phone here about they're saying on the website here of this lawyer, it says that this lawyer is the best public international lawyer around. Probably the best public international lawyer on this planet. What is huh? That's what they who they got. That's who they got to defend their silencing of the people. And the person is a US citizen. They said, can you guys press the government to say how much money was paid for its representation to the ICHR? Huh? And then they went got another thing. Oh my Lord. Listen, but listen, this is what is this what they pick up all the money to pay for? And we came out of there with the commission saying that they need, look at what the commission said. The commission said we could help you to fix the law. We can provide the technical support free of charge to you. And you're going to tell me that it is now being alleged that you paid this man $200,000 US dollars, and then why did they make a video about that? Why you didn't go and make a video about that? How much you charge, how much that lawyer charge you, or how much you paid the lawyer? Why didn't you make a video about that? Why don't we know these things? And then I mean, I don't know if the lawyer didn't realize, but he's talking about 400 years of freedom.
Marcia, when he said that, our table looked at each other like, we're independent for that long. What are you talking about? What 400 years of freedom? You mean slavery? Because in our minds, we thought that is what he was speaking about. Because is he saying that as a slave plantation society, a plantocracy, 400 years of freedom? I want love. Marcia, honestly, right, in that moment, we all looked at each other, give each other the say, hey, what is he talking about? Which country is he speaking about? Because it isn't Barbados. We don't know that life. That does not depict us. That was not our story.
Yeah.
Anybody who would have taken the time, and I blame the team that prepped him also, because maybe he's a big lawyer, he ain't had time to be prepped. We were telling me that
he is a big lawyer, because you have to give. I mean, he went to law school and he's an international law. We're not here trying to say that he's not, doesn't have the credentials or anything. We are, based on what we saw, we're saying, we're asking the government, is it true? Are these allegations true that you would pay $200,000 for that short period of time? And then, I mean, our little team with our young people and the pastor, kind of have, got the better hand. That's all I would say of that. And somebody's asking here, what happened to all them lawyers that is in the BLP? What has happened to all them lawyers in the BLP? What happened to our Attorney General? So we are paying them and then have to go pay somebody else?
Marcia, a lawyer was sitting down at the table and he didn't speak either.
Right, that's true. The big Mr. What name again?
Mr. Hinkson?
Mr. Hinkson, you're not a lawyer. Mr. Hinkson, you're not a lawyer. And we not pay you already. You're not a big lawyer. Oh, I forgot. You're not a big lawyer. I thought you were a big lawyer. That's my view of you. I'm not saying you're not a big lawyer, but it begs the question: why you sat there and you didn't open your mouth? All you know do a tear out paper, and I give him. I tear out paper, tear out
I'm
all.
sorry that we did not have a camera on that. The amount of leaves they tore out while we were speaking to write down and give him. At the end, he started to slow down because he was opening papers to read what they wrote because they had no idea that we were the team coming. So they, after hearing us speak, they know how to write down things for him to speak about because they couldn't prep for us. How do you prep
Listen, on a
for
floor them, on a give them some thump, on a thump them down the ground. That's when they get a beat down. Listen, the citizens gave them a beat down, and we did not pay $1 to our lawyer. And let me tell you, the citizens will beat them down. Them get a beat down, and you see how we look. You see how the citizens look, and how they represent Barbados on the world stage. Huh? You see how we were demure. Huh? We don't.
we were mindful?
Huh?
I said we were mindful.
We were. You see how they were mindful. You see
Mhm.
how they were mindful, demure with their tie and their little bow and the thing. You see that? Yeah, they weren't in a coochie and they weren't struggle and miscolored and look like Christmas tree. Huh? That wasn't us. We never look like Christmas tree. We look organized and we look Barbadian. We look like how we're supposed to look, demure, mindful, very mindful of the of the colors of the flag. We had it right there, Miss Prime Minister. That's how you do it. Huh? Not with not big old, not on the world stage with a big old sustainable development goal and not being mindful about the Barbadian flag. You see how we were mindful and demure. You see it? You see how we were? Not the word color and all of that. You see how we dress and how we carry ourselves and we sit down and we look proper and we look Barbadian. That's how you dress, Prime Minister, on the world stage. And everybody come out and people listen, people all calling now to ask us where to get the ties from.
I
Hmm?
can tell you those ties were everybody loved them. Even the government's team loved our dress code. They loved it. They said they did. We look very official. That is what was
The
said.
ambassador, I heard that the ambassador come over and said, why you all have to do us like this? Huh? Why you all have to do us like this? Where you to get all these ties from? Huh? Just the very present. And because we're Barbadian, we're proud Barbadians. And this is why I keep saying we are enough. We are enough. So the question still goes out to the government. Did you pay 200,000 US dollars for that? Oh Lord. We don't know. So that's why we're asking. We don't know. And it's we know that this lawyer is well. He seemed to be very credentialed. He is a lawyer. But we are wondering if that's how the taxpayers' money. Hmm? We want to know if that's what you use the tax is you use the taxpayer money for that, and we never even spend one red cent on our lawyer. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh yes, very demure, very demure. Yes, we were. You know, Shakwani, because
Yes,
you
we
girl,
were.
you got all the makeup done. And somebody tell me, a birdie tell me, this suppose you see Shakwani face. Suppose you see Shakwani face. You see
Yeah,
when them step out. You see when them step out. Let me tell
it
you, I
was.
was proud, man. And listen, them ties sell off, and then you are like a boy. You're like a boy, somewhere. Demure, you see, very mindful. It's independence. We were very mindful. You know,
Mm,
Shakwani?
we
Yeah?
were.
We,
We
we,
wanted to look like we were from Barbados.
yeah, we didn't want to look like Christmas tree. You know, we wanted we know Christmas coming up, but we want independence we are deal with. So everybody dress up because the independence we are deal with and Christmas with all over color. You look on it in a sin of a color. For them pure color, they have them not then the color. Huh? Them not look the part. They did not look the part. We look the part and we carry the sway. Yes. And we say, Shakwani, you know, say all
Mhm.
Germany, when a picture reach.
Yeah, I could imagine because I want you to know. Yesterday, I heard one of the people from the conference saying, "Oh, this is the presentation that she did in DC." Because that was organized by the same American group. So after I spoke about it, they went and researched, and then they realized, oh, this is the bill. So we are getting out there. The message is getting out there. And if we keep telling people, it will be more public. People would know that this is something wrong and you need to protect your right to speak.
And I want to tell everybody, you see, when they start on that propaganda, and I said it earlier, this is what they did when Mr. Atherley crossed the floor and he formed PDP. Those same people spread a propaganda on that man. They are good at propaganda because we didn't have a forum like this, so they control the social media. You remember that, Shakwani? Them control the social media, you understand? So what they did, they sent out a propaganda on Reverend Atherley, okay? And people like me, I believe the propaganda from them. They said is that is the woman that she send him over. You understand? And that he loved money while he went over. You remember that, Shakwani? That's what they said of Reverend Atherley, and I believe them. I decided this time around, I'm not believing your propaganda, BLP, because that's what you're good at. You're not good at doing any governance. You're not good at doing any work, because look at the state of our children. They're hungry, right? The school system mash up. Okay, so you are not in any position to govern. That's not what you do well. What you do well, everybody knows that. It's propaganda. And that's what they work on the DLP. They work propaganda on the DLP and said that it was the last decade. So what is this? If that was the last decade, what is this? And that is what they do. They do propaganda. So when you see, let me tell you, you hold that thought there. When I want to tell the people them something, Shakwani, anytime you see the propaganda that they send out with the AI and talking the nonsense and mixing me up on the DLP and talk about I getting money for this show and all this propaganda that they are sending, just ask them, please, did you spend $200,000 US dollars on the lawyer that represented you for 20 minutes? Ask them that. Every one of you, almost 900 of you on here, ask them that question. All the little BLP yard fowls that working on behalf of Edmund Hinkson and the whole set of them, ask them. Did you, is a question you're asking now, did you spend 200,000 US dollars on your international law expert for 20 minutes? Just ask them. It's either yes or no. Yes, go ahead. And I see Miss McLean there. Go ahead.
I was saying this government is on. If that was the lost decade, this must be the decade of a point of no return, because this is going to be a very difficult battle. I just saw this message here from Dale Warren. And I can say, I know many parents, when you get that school list to come back into school, it says a ream of paper, it says toilet paper, it says hand soap. So it's not only books you have to send your child back to school with, it is also the equipment for the school to operate, because they're also not getting, I don't know what's happening to the funds, but they're also at a disadvantage at this time as well. So I know that parents have small children here in the chat. Please let us know that you have to send a ream of paper, toilet paper, the hand soap, whatever else you have to send your children to school with in primary school. Let us know what it is, because as we can see, people are saying they're sending the children out now with sponsor sheets
to get those things. And that's why I say all of those that are watching on here, that you come to take notes, you know what you should feel tonight? Shame. You should feel shame. When this is finished, you should hang your head low, that the children can't even don't have toilet paper to use. Let me keep it. Miss McLean, don't laugh, I have to keep demure. I have to be mindful.
I have to be mindful.
Yes. Good night, Miss McLean. Are you being mindful tonight?
Mindfulness about no, talk to me.
Somebody needs
it's a saying on video. it's a video, and it's a saying. The young people say, "Everything you see, how I'm mindful." That meaning that they're being nothing is, it's not brawling. The makeup
Okay.
is mindful.
And my face
It's to
is a
be
little
worn.
shiny, but that's all right. I will next time. I will, before I come on, I will go and But then again, the shine says that at this age, your skin is nice and
Yes, yes,
elastic.
lovely.
So that's the price you pay for oily skin. Well, Marcia, if you, as I said, if you don't laugh, you would cry. I saw something today, and it really has me concerned. Let me see if I can find it because I think I might have sent it to you. Did I? No. But it talks about there was a meeting of, I think it was the
Oh
um
yes.
the it says urgent BHTA food shortage audit. Somebody sent, in fact, I got it from several persons. Their
Mm-hmm.
members, the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, BHTA, would have recently attended it should be a meeting hosted by the Ministry of Agriculture, Food and National Security. Several stakeholders were present at this meeting to discuss the current food shortages experienced in Barbados. The BHTA is conducting this audit to ascertain how the shortages I don't know, would have affected, that's not good
Mm-hmm.
English in this context, BHT members, how it will affect BHT members, and will utilize the data in
Mm-hmm.
upcoming meetings with the ministry to address these shortages and advocate for its members. Now, I want to say this. You were talking about shortages in schools and what parents have to do. I sat down and listened, and this last decade, but I don't use that expression at all because um, the folks in the Barbados Labour Party like to use a lot of buzzwords, and they catch on for those people who are not critical thinkers. But when I look at what's happening around here, I am very concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I use the expression when somebody sent me that the prime minister was proposing to build a big barn. I'm using a biblical kind of thing. This big barn
Big
to
barn for the
store.
whole 29. What you putting in it? 29 of them. Anyway, go
Well, they
ahead.
were supposed to be bringing all this food from Guyana or somewhere. No, I understand the prime minister's penchant for going around the world and building her international image, but she needs to address the contradictions that apply in her international mouthings and what's happening in this little rocklet. Yeah, irony is she wants to go there and take on Putin, Trump, whoever else, Netanyahu, but she cannot get the farmers in Barbados the resources to be able to grow enough provisions of a certain type vegetables, or where they do, they find themselves having to face gluts because the people are importing. The point I'm making to the prime minister is home drums and home business must beat first and happen first, because nothing is working properly. Right now, I heard the leader of the opposition yesterday in Parliament indicate that he did not receive the normal email indicating what was going to be debated in Parliament. Why? Because when they had some massive breach, it was downplayed. We took up all the black belly sheep and we send them to Guyana
See them here.
and they get eat. They send a
Wait,
picture to
wait, hold
you.
a minute. Watch them here. They're protesting on the show. The black belly sheep are protesting on the show. See them there?
They
9
want
of
their
them.
brothers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
They
They
want
came
their
on the
brothers.
show tonight.
So they want their brothers and sisters to come
They
out.
want their brothers and
Well,
sisters.
I have news for you because I have asked and I will ask on this show right now. To my namesake, he might very well, if I do my ancestral checks, he might be a cousin of mine, Dr. Leroy McLean. I
Mm-hmm.
am asking you directly. Can you provide Marcia Weeks for the Marcia Weeks show? Either a still photograph to put next to her painting
Mm-hmm.
or a short video that she can show us the update. Because I am very serious. We have this
But it's not
program.
for me. It's the sheep. They are on the show tonight and they want their
The
relatives.
family.
They
Okay.
want to know what happened.
Well, from what I've been told, and I have no reason to doubt this Guyanese person who spoke to me, they made some of them, I can't swear that everyone would have made some very delicious meals. So
Oh Lord, they're
like
sad.
me, so like
They're
me,
crying.
well, I'm sorry, don't tell them don't cry, because if one of them came to me, I would ask the butcher to
Oh
start it
my
up for me.
God.
I love the black belly lamb, you see. So, but no, but Marcia, I am, when I read this thing that was being circulated, and as I said, it came to me from at least 6 people since I got the first one. And when I read that, I asked myself, what is going on? And you tell me that there is a lot of rain and all of that. But I will say this to you. I have seen, take Jamaica, for example. Jamaica's agricultural sector was just devastated by some extreme weather events, because we had some systems pass through pretty late recently. But I have also seen some photographs,
Yes.
and I know of farmers in Jamaica who are using other techniques
Mm-hmm.
to avoid, to try to minimize that. We talk about smart agriculture. We go around the world and we talk about all of these things. But and I say this to the Prime Minister and to her 28 colleagues who would want to spend time manufacturing all kinds of stories and trying to divert people's attention away from these serious issues. What you need to do is to demonstrate that you are exemplars. If Barbados is out there advocating, and then you're talking about the need to address climate change, etc., and the importance of food security and food safety and food sovereignty, do something at home. You know,
Mm.
the person said, "Look, like we have to be vegetarian. We have to eat grass because you can't get
Mhm.
vegetables either."
I was not gonna say that you couldn't get vegetables either.
No, I was
Listen.
talking to a young farmer tonight, Marcia, and I was, when people are ready to call in, let me know. I was talking
Mhm.
to a young farmer, and he was saying that he was talking to some of the vendors he supplies, and people are being rationed. I guess some of these might be imported things like cabbages and so on. So that
Mm.
it is very real. We're gonna be put on involuntary diets. That was a word I was trying to find earlier tonight when I was in another meeting and earlier, and it was an involuntary diet that we're gonna be put on, because if you can't get, so I am saying to the government, could you make available? Well, first of all, there was a project that was supposed to have two projects in agriculture that have been sitting there, and I don't know where they are. We hear everybody talks about the project the university had. I don't. Well, that was the university, but there was also the Hope, not the Hope Housing, Hope St. Lucie, as in Hope Plantation.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
you know, Marcia, I'm laughing because Tamika ordered the sheep don't eat. I started to write a
The sheep
calypso,
and the sheep
Marcia.
behind me saying bah.
That
The sheep behind me crying. They
that
saying bah, bah.
no, I started to write some lines for calypso, because if it is, I mean, I am serious, and I am laughing because, and I said it before and I say it again, things are so serious that if you do not laugh, your blood pressure
Mm-hmm.
will go up.
Mhm.
I don't think people will say we exaggerate, but we're not. We're not.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
people, and there are some solutions that would be a fraction of some of the monies that have been wasted. And if I could use an example, if the government took $6 million of the $60 million from the Hopeless Home Project, that the money is still to be accounted for, and invested in some work with some young farmers who have been properly trained by the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute of Technology and the Barbados Community College, and those who might have gone to St. Augustine to do agriculture. I am telling you that we could come up with some smart agriculture projects using techniques that are what I would call technologically appropriate, but that would address some of the challenges that we have.
Maxine, on that note, I actually volunteered. I want to say, man, I always volunteering, but I volunteered with a person who was doing their thesis. And I'm saying this because the government can reach out to UWI students, give them grant opportunities to come up with innovative ideas. This student, one of their thesis project was about speeding up the growth of agriculture products. Their plant was corn. So this particular mixture, which was all natural, they used and they applied it in different quantities, different times of the day to see how it impact the growth and if the plant will grow faster. By the end of this project, this plant was ready for picking 2 months before the original date. With data like that, that could impact a whole country in how we could recover quicker from one impacts from hurricane, the thieves, because that is happening to a lot of farmers now. People are stealing the crops, and then you can find crops that grow quickly. So whatever crop can grow within 6 weeks, 8 weeks, use crops like that. And if you put this new technology to better use, you can cut down the growing time to 6 weeks, 4 weeks. So my thing is that they're not using their thinking caps and they're not utilizing the students who would have went and further their education to help the country to make it a better place.
What I would tell you, and I heard it, I've seen it, the Ministry of Agriculture has had over the years, and I'm sure there's still many of them there, highly qualified persons, right? Um, and there used to be people who were, what you call them now, they were officers who went out. I try to remember the term they used for them, but the first word. But they would go and advise farmers. You have, and I can tell you the because I've engaged and interacted with young people who have gone through the training programs. I can tell you that the training offered between SJPTI as it is. PIT as it is now, the Samuel Jackman Prescott Institute, and BCC is very in agriculture. It's excellent. You've had over the years youngsters who were trained and they were trying to find land and so on. I remember trying to put together some programs working across ministry. Now, when people talked about greenhouses, and I remember there was this discussion, and when certain people were making recommendations, or somebody put it, they were trying to propose what they call the Rolls Royce of greenhouses, when in fact what we wanted was a vehicle down the other end, a Suzuki, so to speak. Things like shade houses. I watch my neighbor who operates with a simple shade arrangement, and she does some excellent work out there at her house growing. I watched her, because the person said to me, imagine okras maybe as much as $7 a pound. And okras and funny enough, I've always said that okras have, the price of okras has remained pretty constant for decades. It traditionally is a cheap but nutritious food item. You know, if for women who need folic acid and so on, don't let me get carried away, but you know, those are things you talk about relatively short crops, you know, and there's certain basic things that we really have to look and see how we can improve what's happening. And I'm making the point again that with certain supports which are not requiring, you know, highest level state of the art technology, but simple appropriate technology. Sorry, Kilbert. You know, it really bothers me. Now, listen, let me get back to this sheep matter, because people are laughing. For persons like myself,
Well, be sure the people, the minister of sheep, with them, nobody can. This is what we're gonna have to say. This is how we're gonna address him in case he send a defamation lawsuit. He's a minister of sheep.
we live by sheepish now. No, but look, you see, I repeat myself for the nth time. If we do not laugh, we will cry. Because, and the question, I like asking questions, because Sometimes I'm told things, and since I'm not sure if what they're telling me is correct, I will ask the question, I will offer the explanation I give it, and ask the question, is it correct what I'm told? But I am told that because there was this purchasing of sheep to send to Ghana, people are now looking to find rams and so on to reproduce. So, in other words, to what extent has that initiative impacted negatively on sheep farming in Barbados is a question I would ask
Yes.
anybody who is involved, because it is serious. It is the only lamb that I buy personally, at least for my own consumption. If somebody sends me to the supermarket to buy imported one for them, I would do that. But I don't buy it for myself, and it is very lean and really. So I am very concerned. And we talk about agriculture. Let me say something else, Marcy, until somebody calls, because recently I was preoccupied with um, listening to the debate on the recent plans.
Will we located our missing sheep?
Alyssa, I told you that they came to the show tonight. See them there. They have stole the show. They
What I
came.
will say, sheep find their way back home, so you never know. They find their way
But
back
no,
home.
they're walking home. The other ones will have to jump on a boat or swim.
Oh my goodness.
But
Go
but
ahead, Miss McLean. We spoil your train of thought.
no,
I'm
I
sorry.
will remember what I'm saying, because intersperse the seriousness, we will intersperse it with a little laughter to stay sane, because I tell you, if not, your blood pressure will go up.
Yes,
And as,
yes,
as Barbadians, that's an area that we have to be careful. But
yes.
we talk about agriculture, and we talk about all the problems there. And I raise this against the background of, and I will come and talk about that loan probably on the weekend,
Mhm.
depending on what's the focus. But I listened to the debate in Parliament on Tuesday, and I understand it will be debated in the Senate on Friday.
Yes.
This resolution about debt, this debt swap arrangement, which in principle is fine if you're saying that we're going to change debt and get money at a lower interest. But of course, it depends on the impact. But we'll talk about that. I want to hear what transpires in the Senate before I speak more. But my point is that as we talk about borrowing, and as we know, much of what government has borrowed since 2018 has been foreign
Mhm.
currency, which says that we have to earn foreign exchange to service that debt. I have been looking around Barbados and asking myself, what is happening outside of tourism to either generate foreign exchange, as in the case of exports from the manufacturing and services sector, and what is happening to save foreign exchange? Well, we talked about agriculture, and that is where we would save foreign exchange if we can allow farmers to copyright.
They are.
Marcia, please tell your audience and members of your opposition to behave. Because
Miss McLean, I told you that the sheep came out tonight, and
okay,
they have stolen the show
okay, no
because
problem. I
it's a
understand.
serious issue for them.
And those ones there look quite healthy. They can
Yes,
work in my pot very well, or in my oven.
they're quite healthy, and one of them here you don't even see. He's there looking
Hmm.
around, trying to find where the rest. They're on a serious mission. They're going. They're trying to find the others, and very concerned. And they're Mr. Jemmett is asking the question on their behalf.
Okay. But my concern is that when we start to think about servicing debt and requiring foreign exchange, what is the record of, or what is the performance of the non-tourism foreign exchange earning sectors? There was a time, I certainly recall reports being made about the kind of taxes that would have been generated for the international business sector, You would
Yes.
hear that they were the single largest contributor to corporate taxes, for example. What is happening there? I have not seen. I know that we've heard a big song and dance, and I make no apologies for describing it as a song and dance, because we keep hearing the prime minister and her cabinet and members of various management teams of some agencies talking about deconstruct and reconstruct. But the problem is we seem to have gotten stuck at the deconstruct. The reconstruction is not happening. And as a result of that, I am very concerned. I would like to see the statistics. I would have to go and see what the recent central bank report had to say. But I would like to know exactly what is happening in relation to exports, because that's another area of foreign exchange generate. What is happening? Because we hear a lot of talk about all of these people who got the trust loans, $5,000, but is that, are those people still employed? Are they earning enough to survive? What are they doing? What areas of business? I passed by, since I've been driving a bit at night in recent times, passed by Pelican Village, and I realize it's now transformed into an entertainment spot. There are lots of restaurants there. I hope they could get chicken and blackberry lab.
They may have a connection.
Well, but in all seriousness, and it is a good location. The question now is during locals seem to be enjoying what's offered, and I hope that what will happen is that where we have cruise lines overnighting, let me close my eyes and speak.
But you said we need to laugh, and I told you said we need to laugh so we don't have high blood pressure. And the sheep came on the show tonight because they are serious. They are heading to Parliament with their petition.
Bring back the brothers.
The lost sheep, right?
No, but I'm saying I hope that with the activity, night activity at Pelican, we will get.
Maxine, you will open your eyes to read this one.
Miss McLean, this is Comedy Central now. This is. Well, we didn't say he can't sue us. We just said the minister look like a lamb. Nobody can sue.
Mary had a little lamb. Our sheep don't have fleece. They got brown hair and black bellies.
Oh, anyway, I love a good laugh. Oh my Lord!
But their laughter is the best medicine. So since we may not be able to get medicine soon, from
charted as well. Maxine, somebody had sent me a question for you. They wanted to know: is it normal for the government to borrow money from their banks in their country, in their own country?
Yeah, it can happen. Yes, of course. The banks can borrow anybody. I mean, for example, you can get a loan, or you can borrow in the form of banks buying government paper. So before we had the restructuring, banks used to buy treasury bills and so on. They would invest in government paper. Bonds were largely bought by individual citizens for the most part. So that's not unusual. But we will dissect that piece of legislation. I usually prefer to hear both how the House and Senate debate as possible. Okay, Marcia, I am going to follow Angela's instruction and try to be as demure. I sit up.
Mindful. You see how
Angela,
we are?
my humblest apologies. My mother must be turning in her grave. She is wondering why her last daughter is behaving in that fashion. It is highly unusual that Mita McLean's daughter would be raucous and dying.
No, but
But the
at
truth is,
least
Marcia, we cannot be sued or stopped for
no,
laughing.
because
But
all
then
we
again,
saying,
we may make somebody upset or hurt somebody's feelings by saying
I
mhm.
that
guess
they're
anxiety.
lamb. That I make them look like a lamb. It is.
The
But the
minister,
thing is,
the minister
the
of
thing
sheep,
is,
they
I
said, man,
prefer I prefer Marcia to be told that I look like a lamb rather than be told that I'm a sheep dressed up like lamb. You ever heard that
like
expression?
a
She's mutton. Sorry, she's mutton dressed up as lamb. So in other words, when somebody's trying to look younger than they are, and if I have the expression wrong, somebody can correct me. So
Oh my goodness, it's good to laugh, But we're only 4 minutes before the end of the show, and I want to, Miss McLean, first of all, thank you all so much for coming on tonight. And all night we've been talking, at least at the beginning, I've been talking about how important it is that we position ourselves so that we do not have another 30 love. We can't. And regardless of the party, you want to join you want to go join PDP if it's still there. Do you want to join Solutions Barbados? Do you want to go and look up Lynette's UPP? What you want to do? Do you want to join the DLP? Do you want to go independent? Do something. Do something.
what I would say,
Please.
Marcia, that part of the problem we have seen in the last two, even three elections is that too many Barbadians have opted not to vote. And my
I
take on that is that you always have a choice because at the end of the day, there has to be some government in
Mhm.
place. And, and so that is an important thing and even when we look in other jurisdictions, people opt not to vote and then they complain. It's
Yeah.
like a behavior that I described when I was on last time when I was talking about fear. People go to a staff meeting with all kinds of issues, at uppermost in their minds and so on. And when the bosses start to speak, the managers, the supervisors, whatever, there's silence. And then they leave the meeting and they congregate at their desk and in the corners, and then they have all kinds of things. So my point is this: we're supposed to be a democracy. What we need to do is to exercise our democratic rights. And beyond that, because voting is one thing, but you see what is happening here. I mean, tonight we were a little jovial, and I think there's a reason for everything because we're dealing
Mhm.
with some heavy. We're doing. I don't like to use expressions that people think, but we're dealing with some heavy subjects. I'm not. I was going to use another expression, but that would be borrowing from a politician, and I prefer not to use buzzwords. But some difficult, tough topics we are faced. I mean, we saw again yesterday it was, and the day before is. I think that we had two other people, you know, died or one. Well, both. There was somebody who was ended up in the by the fish market in the water. Then there was a man who was shot in an area in Black Rock, taken to the hospital and died. So that is what we're dealing with on a daily basis. And I would say this, as she may not like me bringing out her business. A niece of mine came into on holiday, not for her grandfather's funeral, and pronounced to her mother that if the water in St. Lucie is not what I can accept, I going up to Auntie Maxine's house, where and she was like, and I said, "You're welcome." But of course, her mom, she's just lost her granddad. She would want, I mean, her dad, so she would want her daughters with her. But she was correct. I said, "But why should you have to come and put up with that?
Yeah.
That's what you left behind X number of years ago. You've come back to it again."
Mhm.
And that's it. Because at the end of the day, on that, because we're talking about the things that are stressing people out, and therefore why we had to laugh. I
Yeah.
contend that the nature of that problem is such that the remedial work, first of all, government has to admit what the problem is, because I think they know, and the authority, the technocrats should know by now. If it is what people are saying in relation to the wells, you may have to shut that down work however you can to redirect the water, and and find a different way to access, because
Yeah.
it is just wrong. It's just and I mean, I can imagine.
Miss McLean, Miss McLean, it's 2 minutes
I
to
quit.
it's
I
two
quit.
minutes to the people are on a roll tonight, and I don't want to forget this. Those of you who want to give Miss McLean, you hold that serious start for the next show Friday night. Those of you who want to donate to Amaya, the little girl, we do have a bank account
No,
that
okay,
is
good.
now opened up for her. And just know that I spoke with the father at length today, Miss McLean. He's not interested in getting anything for himself. This is for little Amaya. The father has done all the tests, and they are waiting on the results to make sure that he is a donor. My understanding is that the hospital is going to, the QEH is going to cover this little girl's the procedure, the operation, the cost of the operation. And what we are doing is we will be raising funds for all the other incidentals and so on. And also remember that the father, who is a very wonderful father, I may add, a really nice man, what's happening is that, remember, if he becomes a donor, Miss McLean, he has to come back to Barbados, and then he still has to recover, and he has the children to take care of, because we must remember that Amaya's
The
mother
other.
also passed. And this man, I'm telling you, I was trying for him to come on the show, excuse me, and he said to me, Miss Weeks, I have to cook at this time for the children. He's a single parent. He's a single parent with more than one children.
Child.
So it is important that we support him as well, even though he's saying this is not for me,
But
but
he
he
has
can't
to be
work,
supported, and the other children as well.
and
Yes.
the other children as well. Come on, Barbadians, and I'm asking everybody, let's be mature about this. Let us not tear him down. Let us not be suspicious, because if it was a single mother, we would rally around that mother. You know that.
He's
Single
a
mother.
parent. A parent is a parent.
A parent is a parent. He's a single
And they
father.
have lost. The mom has died, right? So
Their mom has died. Yes. Their mom. So what I'm going to ask you is, if you're interested, right tonight, I don't have the facility to put up the bank information, but you can message me 236-7000 for the number. For the banking information that you can use to help them, because right now he's not able. It's because he has to be at the hospital with the child, run up and down, do all. He can't keep a job for 5 days of the week. And when he comes on Friday, you're going to hear more of this gentleman and how he has prepared himself, and just finished a polytechnic too. He did plumbing, and but he
wow,
can't get
nice.
to do as much as he can do. He needs to do, because he has to get the children to school, and you know how it is with men. Miss McLean, we
Right.
can do 5 and 6 and things. It's tough for them, and so we want to be there to support him. We're trying to put together a show. This is going to be of entertainers, artists, and so on. Timon is going to be on it, doing his spoken word, and lots of different artists. We're going to tell you about that, and the date for that is December 15th. Okay, that we're working on that, and we will tell you more as time goes on. And the proceeds, 100% of it will go towards it, Amaya. Okay, so before you go and spend out the money at Christmas, that's what we're going to do. And I talked to you about also about Wellington Wellington Avenue, Wellington Street, and Nelson Street, because we had planned to do something big there. But what we're doing, we're collecting toys, and we're going to distribute the toys along Wellington Street and Nelson Street. We're not going to keep that big event, because we have to take care of Amaya. We have to, because she needs the operation, and we want to make sure that we can. So we're kind of shifting focus a little to Amaya, but we are collecting toys. So we're going to talk more about that properly on Friday for our next show. But thank you all so much for joining tonight. Thank you all so much for joining. Everybody who joined, we had quite a few of you on tonight. Continue to share when you come on. We're doing this thing together. Share and like, and and subscribe. Don't forget that. Shakwani, thank you for joining us
Of course,
tonight,
it's
and
a
thank
pleasure
you,
to
Miss
be here.
McQueen. I want to send a big thank you to Janine Butcher. You know what
Okay.
you did today to make this show a reality, Janine Butcher. This young lady, I keep saying she's full of steel. This woman is another Shirley Chisholm. You hear? One of these days, I'm going to tell you what she did today to make this show happen. Janine Butcher and Donna, I
Heinz,
don't know,
Heinz, Donna
Donna
Heinz.
Hines.
Yeah.
These two women, let me tell you, these are suits. Man, Miss McLean, them, they're strong. They're strong. And I will tell you all, and also let me give a shout out to somebody in the diaspora. Miss I don't know if I can call her name, I don't know, but she goes
Miss
by Kamhar
Diaspora.
on here. Yes,
Miss
from the
Diaspora.
diaspora. She goes as repeat,
Kamha.
I said the wrong word.
No, I said Kamha. I call her Miss Diaspora.
Miss Diaspora, yes. Kamahar, let me just say a special thank you to you as well, and thank you to Dave Weeks, who is not on tonight. But thank you all for what you did to bring this show to the Barbadian people tonight. We appreciate you guys. Janine Butcher, you are something else. God bless you. Love you all. All right. And thank you all. Bye bye,
Bye
guys.
bye.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good
Take
night.
care. Nice
Bye
seeing
bye.
y'all, ladies. Bye bye, everybody.
And the sheep said good night. Bye. Bye.